Gibberpish podcast.
Well, I may be completely uninterested in recording today's episode because my Xbox One is like inches away from me. But we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yes, we are.
Make it quicker!
Make it.
Come on, we got things to do here.
This one will be called the speedrun of Gibberpish.
The Wasteland, we already did a gaming's speedrun type thing, but yeah, this we're going to knock this one out of the park pretty quick.
Yeah, because
Colin
has super mutants to kill.
The Wasteland won't save itself. Spoilers, this is going to be a lot of Fallout 4 talk, a little bit of just general gaming news in general. It seems to have picked up again. We're heading towards winter
coming into
releases.
Christmas, or the holidays for our American and Canadian cousins. Companies just tend to fire at games left, right and centre, and with the big one being Battlefront, and that being quite controversial at this point, because people refuse to pay for a half-finished game. They're releasing a shit ton of DLC and a season pass that basically gives you the right to play the rest of the game.
Right.
People are just losing their shit over it, and rightly so. I refuse to pay for a half-finished game.
My query to this is, have you ever played a Battlefield game before?
Battlefront.
It's the same development.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's the same. It's Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
Is made by the guys who did Battlefield. Same DICE, same group of people.
Yeah. Battlefield games tend to be half-assed and kind of half-finished.
This is every game they've ever done. They're good games. They're really well balanced. The online multiplayer is fantastic. However, this is the same thing they've been doing for years. But now that Star Wars is involved, people have noticed.
Yeah, fans are losing their shit over it.
Because the thing is, the shooter fans versus Star Wars fans aren't always in the same camp. Don't talk to each other much. It's not the same as right now. Everyone is just being jammed into this thing and looking, hey, the walls are a little bit tighter than they were. And the only way the walls are going to get bigger is if we pay you more money than we've already paid for. In America would be a $60 game. Yeah. For us is 40 quid.
So I got into the beta for Star Wars Battlefront. I played a few matches of it online. It is a fantastic shooter. They've put a lot of care into this, and you can tell there's still that LucasArts vibe into the game. They still have an influence on it. There's still that kind of EA magic with the shooting. As much as I hate Battlefield, the shooting and the controls in that are tight. The guns, the way they've made the guns, the layout of the game is fantastic. There's still something missing from that.
I don't think LucasArts are involved with that, are they?
No, but you can tell that even the company that used to be LucasArts is still having some influence on that game. Like those people will be getting carried forward into.
There might be a producer or two that's still there, but to be fair, replicating Star Wars, not that difficult. Just put clone troopers in it. Star Wars is pretty generic when you look at it.
It's not easy, it's not hard to make a good Star Wars game, and there's been quite a few people that have tried.
Quite a lot of people have failed, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out.
I will be kind of abstaining from buying Battlefront quite quickly.
I'm probably not going to play it. I look forward to seeing how it turns out. I'll probably watch someone else play it, but I'm not going to play it myself.
Yeah, this is going to be a big stream game, because there's going to be a lot of the big name streamers are going to get free copies, and they're going to play it on stream, and then that's going to hopefully double sales and influence more people buying it.
I don't know who's going to stream it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know of anyone myself that would do it. I tend to follow a lot of Dark Souls people, so they're just kind of giving up on Bloodborne and playing Scholar the First Sin again and again and again, or finding new games, which is always fun when you see someone with a kind of known skill set and a known kind of style of presenting their gameplay, then just kind of have to shift into another game, and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Although I've been watching Desert Bus for Hope a lot on Twitch.
That's the Loading Ready Run guys, they're doing Desert Bus.
A bunch of Canadian comedians just played the world's worst game for almost a week straight now. I think it's longer this time. It's 151 hours I've gotten up to. So I'll be damned if that's not the longest one yet. Yeah. But I managed to catch not only just their general performance, which is always very fun, but they had an interview with LeVar Burton, which is really cool.
As in Data from Star Trek?
Yeah. Nice. Reading Rainbow, Kunta Kinte, you name it. LeVar Burton was just involved because he's big on giving books to kids.
Yeah.
And
he's a big charity guy. He likes giving back.
So he was there to have a chat with them. They had some questions and answers from the community. Just great little thing of seeing, these Canadian comedians are doing a thing. Oh, and here comes a Hollywood star. Here comes a TV producer. So they were talking about Reading Rainbow, which is obviously about teaching kids the joy of reading. Not so much teaching kids the how-to, but more kind of, here's a book you might enjoy. Someone is going to read some passages. Here's some people going to talk about it, make it interesting for people. I really liked this segment. It's really very nice to hear someone talking about reading in a positive light. He talked about his influences. His mother was a massive reader as well, so she was constantly just handing books to him and getting him to read as a kid. And it influenced his life from then on and made it a positive kind of influence. So he wants to share that with the rest of the world. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. kids, especially today, need to read more than just a fucking Facebook walls.
And that was part of what it was getting at, was that we need to try and reintegrate reading in some form back into modern culture and just see where we can go with it. But it was very fun. The actual stream was pretty interesting. I don't know if you've ever heard the song 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall all the way through.
I think most people get about 88. And to my knowledge, people get to about 88 and just finish the rest of the song there.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, there's a reason for that, and it's because it's the world's worst fucking song. There was a team of people, 10 of them in the room, split into 2 teams of 5, doing rounds of like 10 or 20 each, and it was still like fucking atrocious. Like, the next time you hear someone sing the song, you have my full permission to just stab them in the neck. Don't care. Don't care if I go to jail for that one, just do it.
Just smash the beer bottle.
Everyone around you. Yeah. Say, here's a beer bottle, smash. But fuck me. It was... Even a team of comedians can't make that song good. There was nothing you can do to save that song. Also turns out that I missed like quite a few updates on the whole Loading Ready Run situation. These guys have been working together for years, and I did see that 2 of the members had gotten married. Graham and Kathleen, and I didn't realise Kathleen had gotten pregnant and she had the baby.
I haven't watched Loading Ready Runner, but Graham's the kind of he's the
tall guy.
The title character. But
yeah, he's the tall bearded guy. He's one of the founders. Him and Paul started it.
Yeah,
and they just I missed a human life existing. So
yeah,
you know it happens a lot. But yeah, we had I saw that she just came on with the kid, and you're like, oh damn, there was a child there. Whoops. So I lost contact through social media just because I stopped following various people on Twitter, and it became, oh shit, they're married. Oh damn, there's a kid involved now.
And this foggy light.
Yeah, it's nice to see though. I was just kind of like, oh, it's a weird thing. I started watching these people on The Escapist when they joined up there, and that was about 7 years ago.
Yeah, but The Escapist itself is just a fucking mess just now. I think Yahtzee is holding that thing together himself.
Might be actually about 9 years ago, but yeah, 9 years of the Loading Ready Run, and you realise that you've been watching people live. It's a weird sensation, but yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing that we forget is people who just watch stuff online, we forget that these people have other shit going on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I personally have just, this past year I've started watching quite a lot of Markiplier stuff just because I wanted to see more of Five Nights at Freddy's, but I was not willing to pay the extra, I wasn't willing to pay the money, even though it's like a £5 game.
Right.
I wasn't willing to pay that money to play the game. So I just watched him and I thought, right, he does it, it's fairly funny and he is pretty good at the game. But you kind of forget that he went through a pretty major operation like, in the middle of filming, and then he just disappeared for about 3 weeks and came back on and said, yeah, I had an operation that knocked me out for 3 weeks.
Huh.
Like, apologies, I will get back to uploading as soon as I can, but give me time. You kind of forget that thing quite a lot. Like with Phil DeFranco, he went 4 weeks without uploading a video because he was on his honeymoon, and then 2 weeks before that his kid was born.
Yeah.
So you kind of forget that these people are human as well, but because we're just used to clicking on their YouTube channel and watching everything that they put out.
Yeah, you see their entertainment, but you don't see who's making it in a real sense. Yeah, it was kind of nice. I think we'll be getting into Markiplier that you mentioned earlier, because we're going to talk about the Video Game Award nominations have been listed out for 2015, so that'll be coming up later in the show. Yeah. But in me news, me have Xbox.
Yes, you bought yourself an Xbox One and Fallout 4, and it has slowly been consuming every facet of your life for the past week.
It's not been slow. This has been an engulfing of my spare time.
Yeah, you've not been delaying this, you've welcomed it with open arms.
I'm not going to lie, there may have been a massive delay in last week's episode, surely due to me trying to save the Wasteland, then realising how fucking big this game was, and then having to jump straight back into editing before going, oh shit, there's not a chance in hell for me playing any of this game properly without doing the episode first, editing it, throwing it back out there, and then jumping back into Wasteland. And I didn't realise as well that I was actually buying Fallout 3 as well. So,
you got a free copy of Fallout 3 with Fallout 4?
Yeah, don't know how. I think it might have been the bundle, because I went and bought the hard case version of Fallout 4.
I think it might be for the Xbox One specifically, because they're doing the backwards compatibility thing now. Yeah,
so I have a download code for Fallout 3 that I've not even touched yet. It's staying in its box until I'm good and done with Fallout 4. Mostly because I don't want to jump between the two games and then have like issues, because I've noticed there's some differences.
Yeah, there's major differences between Fallout 3 and 4.
And a lot of it's to do with speeding up gameplay. Yeah. For example, when you come across an item that you can loot, it can be a set of dresser drawers, or it can be a dead body. Rather than like accessing it, like you just have a menu that pops up, and that will show you the list of contents that you can take, and you can quickly grab stuff through that. It took me longer than I care to admit to stop pressing the B button to come out of a menu that I put in there in my brain. literally a case of me going, oh, look, a thing, A, and I'd take the first thing, because that's obviously your like take button.
Yeah.
So I'd take the first thing, which is a very good system. It's prioritised, so it's ammunition, aid, weapons, armour. So you're not scrolling through like 40 different pieces of like armour because you're segmented. You've got your left arm, right arm, chest, head, left leg, right leg. And rather than you scroll all the way through that, it instead just kind of prioritises what you actually want, which 90% of the time is ammo and meds.
Yeah.
Then maybe a weapon if they've got something really good. And then armour comes last because you take time to prioritise and sort your armour out. Right now I'm running a lot of shadowed gear, so I'm blacking up a lot of the armour plating. Oh boy. No, there's
This week's headline, Colin Graham blacks up to fight super mutants.
Kind of. I only draw the minstrel face on the chest plate, okay?
Just imagine you walking about with like a gollywog face in your arm.
Hello! Even the super mutants are going, that's offensive.
Just like they drop the whole like, me super mutant. Sir, you're offending people. I'm a giant green mutant and you're offending people.
My wife is half racial. She's
when she was human.
When she was human before something horrible happened to all of us. She was half what you think you have on your chest.
Before we bathed in massive pools of radiation, she was that ethnicity.
I don't know what it was that the super mutants were caused by, but they are really cool. I do like them. Like, I want to be a super mutant.
Strong is the most badass companion in that game. Have you got Strong yet?
No.
Oh, look forward to him. He's voiced by Sean Chamel.
Seriously?
Yeah, the guy who voices Goku and King Kai and Dragon Ball Z voices a super mutant in Fallout 4.
I'd love for it to be King Kai. That'd be great.
I'm trying to picture what a super mutant King Kai would sound like, and I can't do like the only Dragon Ball impression that I can do is a Team 4-star kind of pseudo impression of Vegeta. I
wonder what it. Try to think. I want to try and do the line, so I want to try and figure out something for King Kai to say if he was in the Wasteland. And it's kind of, I know I just can't hit that. My nose is too blocked. I'm trying to like warm up the parts of me that will do the voice, and it's just not working.
Like King Kai's all like nasal and throat. It's a very hard impression to do.
I'll leave a blank space here so that if I need to, I can cut something in.
Yeah. So when I leave, you're going to open the recording back up again and just work in a King Kai voice.
Yeah, I'll probably work in the King Kai before doing the recording, and maybe throw the mic on and just have myself screaming as King Kai into the microphone. But I need to go find that guy now.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell he's going to be because I've covered a lot of the Boston area, and luckily not a lot of Boston accents kicking around. There's one or two, but a lot of it's very generic American accent.
See, I've genuinely been looking for Mark Wahlberg at the Wasteland. Like, because I've not been playing it. My brother's been playing it because obviously he bought it. I'm gonna let him play through it first before I jump in. But I've just been, if he said to me, right, play this, I need to go on the phone or I need to go to the toilet or something. I've just been wandering about the Wasteland trying to find Mark Wahlberg. Just one guy like, fucking super mutants, dude. Get the fuck away from me.
You got that buffer? Get that buffer. Cram some buffer.
Dude, I got major rads. Get that fucking Radex.
Got your rat away? I got my fucking rat
away. Dude,
right?
motherfucking stim packs and shit. Low on health, you crippled fucking red leg.
Can't do squats no more.
Somebody get me a fucking protein shake.
I
Cobble the shit out of myself.
The weird thing of playing Fallout, and if you want a handy guide on this, my guide is going to be pick up as many different types of weapon as you can, and what you do is you run around with like the 38, which is like your it's the pipe weapons. It's just like, you know, they've scrapped together a couple pieces,
like foraged weapons.
Yeah, foraged weapons. It literally is a case of there's some of them that are just pieces of planks of wood holding pipes together, and then a revolver magazine at the back. It's just you firing away a little pipe rifle and blasting away. So you grab that, they're pretty easy to get your hands on. 10mm weapons, you then get the 5mm for the minigun, because there's a minigun in this game and it's awesome. And then you graduate to, like, I kept finding .45 rounds, which that are mostly for the assault rifle or the combat rifle. You then keep finding 5.56, which is for the assault rifle, and I keep like switching between them because I just found a combat rifle this morning. All it is semi-automatic. It's a faster. Most weapons are semi-automatic rather than being fully automatic. I mean, you do get a fully automatic weapon. It's kind of garbage because it just kicks all the way up the screen. So you just kind of lose.
The recoil on that thing must be pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, like, I found an automatic 10mm pistol, and we're talking like a little handgun, and then suddenly, like, I'm looking at the sky just rattling off rounds at this thing. And just there's recoil suppressant upgrades, but it takes a while to get there. The upgrade system is pretty good, but it is very brutal. It's a case of all that stuff you want to get to rank 3, on the skill chart, and if you want to get to rank 3, you're gonna have to be like this level. So I'm waiting on like several level ups.
Have you heard about the level cap in Fallout 4?
It's almost unlimited. I've heard 290 or 280 coming up. But
yeah, I've been told there's no cap whatsoever in Fallout 4. You can just keep going until you have all the perks.
I think that's what 280 or 290 comes from. It's just, here are all the things you can do, which is good, because if you want to max out a character, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, you're going to have to play a fair few hours of that game and fight level 280 super mutants.
Yeah, because it does tend to scale with it. I've been playing through a lot of the cleansing, the Wasteland missions, where you meet a group of the Brotherhood of Steel, who are kind of not quite heroes in the group, but they're as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, they're like, in your average D&D campaign, they're the good-intentioned, heavy-hearted
They're paladins, yeah. To the point where some of the characters are called paladins, yeah. There's paladins and knights within the structure of the Brotherhood of Steel. And I was playing through, and we kept coming up against these missions of Cleanse the Wasteland, who you get from one of the knights. He just says, I want you to go to this location and kill everything in sight. And you go, okay, boss, not a problem.
Got you, boss man.
Several hours of gameplay later, I realised that it's never going to end. There's no end in sight for these fucking missions, and it was a bit annoyed. I'm not going to lie. Outright fury was the initial reaction of just kind of, motherfucker, I wasted about 6 hours of gameplay on this one gameplay mode, and I could have been doing other things though about the main campaign. But I have at the same time leveled up a lot, so there's not a lot of people who get to like certain parts of the story at the level I'm at with all the gear they've got and just show up and murder everyone, so it's making part of the gameplay easier. Yeah. But knowing that it's never going to end kind of pisses me off. Maybe if there's an achievement tied to it, I'll keep playing those missions. Otherwise, fuck them.
Yeah, it does sound like one of those things you get in most RPGs, because Fallout isn't. It's an action RPG.
Yeah.
You get most of these missions in RPGs that'll be kill X amount of enemies, and it'll be named something like in Final Fantasy 3 there was a quest called Church Clearance, where you had to clear out zombies from a churchyard,
right? And
that would just keep going until you destroyed about maybe 100 of these things. I would just keep stacking that. But at the end of it, you'll probably get a really, really nice gun or something like that, or really, really good armor.
If you make it worth the person's while, we'll play as many of them as you want. For example, if there's an achievement for about 50G for doing 50 of these missions, I'll probably end up doing it. Or
even for the completionists who just love doing every single mission before they move on, like me. And as I talked about last week, I'm a huge fan of Xenoblade Chronicles. There's missions in that where you have to kill, go out into the there's one area called Gower Plains. Go out into Gower Plains, kill three types of this enemy, and then go fight the legendary version.
Right.
And you'll get different tiers of that legendary enemy, and you'll get about maybe 5 missions to do with that. But at the end of it, you'll get a really good armor. I love doing missions like that, just because the way my head works, I need to finish one thing before I move on to the next thing. So if I think, right, the next part's going to be easier, I could do that now, but I'm stuck on this part. I get this part finished, I need to finish off that section before I move on.
Right.
So that's why I end up logging in 300 hours on RPGs, because I need to finish everything.
I can see Fallout hitting that. I mean, in the first week I've had it, I'd say about a week, about 10 days, I've clocked in about 30 hours. And I could see myself just dragging more and more out of it.
Yeah, and that's the calling card of a really good game. A game that you get so immersed in that you waste, I wouldn't say waste, you spend 30, 40 plus hours in the opening week just getting yourself engrossed in this game. Yeah.
It's not without its faults, I'll give it that.
Yeah, there's the building system is a pain in the tits.
The building system's a bit annoying because, again, I have to now manage. I went and liberated a lot of farmland to help support one of the factions, the Minutemen, who are kind of light armoured militia that just kind of hang out, and you get involved in several missions. I'm now their general, apparently. I showed up, I save one guy, we go to a new town, he makes me the general, and then as a lieutenant colonel proceeds to order me around.
Okay. And
tell me where to go and what to do, and I'm like, I don't think you know what the word general means, okay? There should be a star in my head, and I should be yelling at you, not you saying, I found another settlement, we need to go and help, because again, never-ending quests. Yeah, I'm just going to the same fucking place again and again. And the best thing is that he will give you quests saying, I've heard word of a settlement that needs our help. And then he's talking about the settlement that you're standing in right now. You're standing in a place called Sanctuary, and it goes, yeah, some people need our help. And it's a guy standing next to him.
You mean that guy walking past with a hay bale? Yeah, I'll go help him.
Yeah, Kenneth needs a hand, I know, because we've been standing here talking for 4 hours while you got back from the last mission.
Lubrication Emporium needs more lube. It's been stolen by Deathclaws. We need to go kill Deathclaw.
I did say Kenneth, didn't I?
Yeah.
Interesting. Kenny's lube store lives again.
Yeah, it lives on through the Wasteland.
Yeah, lives on through the Wasteland. He's a ghoul now.
Yeah.
Although apparently there's a character at the start, the Vault Tech induction guy, who
he tries to persuade you to join the vault.
you're going to go in the vault anyway because
Yeah.
otherwise the game doesn't happen. But they do say that he is he's available later on as a ghoul, and he's just alive 200 years later, still wearing the same clothes, which is a bit weird. But he just is hanging out going, oh my god, it's you from the vault from before. And you're like, yep, I'm now a Wasteland warlord, motherfucker. What do you want to do about
As
it?
you rock up in power armor with like an automatic shotgun, you're like, yep, bitch, I run this Wasteland.
Yeah, this is my house now.
What is your opinion of the more kind of customizable power armor? A lot of people just like getting the power armor pieces and using that without any kind of limits. What's your what I'm asking you is the fact that you can customize your armor and the fact that you have to get a fusion core to power that armor. What's your verdict on that? Good or bad?
I really like it because it balances it. I'm not running around in power armor smashing everything.
Yeah, you're
with
not as
100%.
invincible as Fallout New Vegas in 3 made you feel in power armor.
In 3, I was literally running around punching everything I could find because I could. There was nothing stopping me.
Yeah.
I'm now, the best way I've heard it described is it's not a suit of armor, it's a mech.
Yeah, it's very Iron Man like because it like the back opens up and you.
Oh yeah,
fill
that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Like when your armor kind of like clips around you and stuff.
Rather than before where you just equip it and it'd be the same as a helmet. You just jump into a menu, swap out your current armor for the mech armor. You now see it as you build it on a rack and then you step into it and it opens up to let you in. You step into the suit and it locks around you and then you're ready to go. And you're still wearing your armor underneath, so when you escape out of it, you just step back out of it and you're already fully armored and armed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I really like it. It's an improvement to the game because you're gonna lose power armor more in a weird way because you can damage the armor and then it will just completely fall off.
Yeah.
So you'll have a little reading screen that will have your body outlined on it, and you will just see it go red and it will disappear.
Yeah.
You know, oh shit. And
So it'll disappear to the point where you're just wearing this kind of like base layer armor, where it's all just like you can attach stuff to it, but it doesn't really give you much protection. You really need the additional body parts to make it.
The idea is that you're wearing the skeleton. And
the exoskeleton. Yeah.
You're wearing the exoskeleton. Over the top goes the armor plates that actually add the protection. Wearing the basic suit does give you a benefit of you have increased carry capacity because you're obviously an exoskeleton. You're stronger. You can carry more. And also you don't take fall damage.
Yeah,
you can leap off a building.
Big thing. The amount of times I've been getting chased by like rad scorpions in Fallout 3 and just backed off the cliff and I'm like, oh, that's me fucked.
Yeah, the Wastelands is a lot more brutal now.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a lot more that will kill you and can kill you.
Although I've been told the synth enemies are ridiculously easy if you have an energy weapon.
Yeah, you come across them as part of the Brotherhood of Steel campaign, and then later on they come up more and more. And you can fire off at them with like your kind of ballistic weapons, your 38 shells, your shotguns. Shotguns do pretty good because you're up close and personal. But when it comes to like the weapons you start fighting them with don't have a chance, but you pull out a laser weapon and it bypasses a lot of their armor, so it's more effective, which is good. It makes sense. It's kind of balancing out the damage with a kind of resistance almost, and then finding a way around that resistance. So you're going to carry a laser weapon, a shotgun, a pistol, a rifle, and an assault rifle, so you can take on anything.
And usually throwing a melee weapon there because with the feral ghouls, there's no point in wasting ammo on them. They go down so easily, you're better just taking a melee weapon.
I quite like popping out a silenced 10mm pistol and just walking around going pop, pop, pop. But that's part of what I was saying earlier is gather up as many different types of weapons as you can, have them all equipped, and you can just switch between them to deal with different
situations. Fallout 4 is
situations.
just all about variety. The amount of stuff that you can do in this game, like you're never going to be thinking, oh, I could do than that, but then if I do that, I'm limited to do this. Like, no, everything is open to you in Fallout.
Yeah, people talking about sinking like 5-10 hours in the creation modes and stuff. Pretty damn impressive. And not entirely surprising, although I find the system a bit frustrating and a bit unnecessary, so I just kind of leave it. I could drop hours and hours and hours into that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in and playing it myself because, like I said, I've just been watching my brother play it and he's a huge Fallout fan. I'm not so much a Fallout fan. I'm starting to play New Vegas. I played Fallout 3 before, didn't get too far in it. I'll probably revisit them again at some point before I dive into Fallout 4. But yeah, I don't know what it is about Fallout 4. Maybe just the new shinier graphics or the new gameplay mode, new gameplay modes, and the new setting. But I'm really interested in Fallout 4. I will give that a shot at some point.
The two things that got me into it were the complete grim atmosphere.
Yeah,
I really liked it, and then the 50s music. But I've not been listening to radio this time. I've just been playing through because I'm playing a stealth character. It seems strange that.
You don't have the music blaring.
Yeah, in the middle of the wasteland, stalking through the night, and then just suddenly, just 50s jazz music kicks in.
Super mutants turn around going, oh, me hear music.
the level of Super Mutant dialogue is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of walk in, hey, what that? You're like, oh, cool, it's a Super Mutant. I get that. It's nice.
My brother had the weirdest experience. He was playing Fallout 4 yesterday, and he was being chased by a Deathclaw, but the Deathclaw was not damaging him whatsoever. It's just following behind him, and just every time he stopped, it stopped, and he could actually go up and like touch it, and it wouldn't do anything. It just followed him about the wasteland.
Interesting.
It was probably a glitch, but it was just quite fun to see this Deathclaw like chase after him, and then stop.
They've put in interesting like kind of death animations. Like if you melee a character and it's close enough to dying, you get like a special hit, like a special kill. Like I carry a lot of rifles, so I end up clubbing a lot of people. So I like you melee one way and then you just melee them in the side of the head again. One button push does it all. It's not. It's just like an execution almost. It's a nice little touch. Turns out that the certain things can do that to you as well. A Deathclaw turns you into a fucking finger puppet.
Oh.
Yeah.
As in like straight to the gut.
It picks you up with one hand, looks at you, looks down at its hand that it just kind of unsheaths, just kind of flicks open, and then shoves it somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm guessing it's somewhere you don't want anything going.
Up the butthole.
That's what I'm thinking. I was trying to avoid making a Jared Fogle joke because that guy got prosecuted and deserved every fucking minute of what he's gonna get.
I think it's just now that I've become an uncle. People say that now that I've become a father, I'm more worried about this shit. But like, see, becoming an uncle.
Why weren't you worried about pedophiles before, you motherfucker?
No, like, they're always.
No, I'm saying to that person who's like, oh, now that I'm a father, this thing matters to me.
They're always a thing. Like
what?
I mean, given where we grew up, there was a pedophile that used to come around schoolyards to the point there. We weren't allowed out of the schoolyard until our parents came to pick us up.
To the point where there is now iron gates around
our
every school.
Our primary schools look like prisons because they're just like corrugated. There's like fences going around them, and you have to be let in and out by a teacher or one of the playground assistants or something.
Yeah, but anyway, enough pedophile talk. What have you been up to? I've been playing Fallout 4. There's nothing more than that. I did listen to Devil You Know's new album, They Bleed Red.
Is it like out of?
It's not as good as the one that came before. The previous one was a lot better, a lot more catchy. There's just something I'm not quite into about this one yet. Was maybe a bit disappointed. I mean, the actual track that they released a video for, The Way We Die, great track.
Yeah.
Nothing like it's a good track. Nothing to do with the fact that the video contains strippers.
Alright.
The Eye of the Tiger cover is a bit frustrating.
Oh, like
because
I posted that on the Sons of Metal Facebook page. I have never ever once thought when I've been watching Rocky, thinking, you know, Howard Jones, the former Killswitch Engage and now current Devil You Know frontman. What would it be like if he sang that song? I thought it's never once fucking crossed my mind.
It has crossed my mind, and I mentally made it in my head. I just kind of mentally made it and said, if he was going to do it, this is how he'd do it.
Yeah.
And the second chorus gets close. The second verse gets really close from the second verse onward. But the way I've thought about it now is that the first verse was him saying, hey guys, I'm going to take the piss out of Survivor, and just started singing it and taking the piss, but then someone went, that actually sounds pretty good, Howard, could you try for the second verse onward? And yeah, it sounds pretty good there. The chorus sounds good, but that first verse is so...
I'm taking the piss.
It's so flat. I don't know what it is, but his vocal...
There's no emphasis in it. It's like he's reading it. It's the Eye of the Tiger.
No, it's more to do with the fact that he's not singing it at the start. He's just shouting it.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, hey, Howard, what's the lyrics to Eye of the Tiger? And he was just like, I got this one, and just started shouting it into a microphone, and then went, oh no, sing it. And he went, okay, and started singing away for the second chorus onwards. And it sounds okay at that point. I
think for me, it's just that if metal bands are going to do a cover, it needs to be another metal song. If they do a cover of a pop song, it just sounds weird to me. Like Hailstorms, they done
Hangover with Tile Cruz.
I hated that song.
It's awesome live, which we can go see soon.
It depends when, man.
It's Hailstorm and Sabaton.
Dude, I'm going.
Yeah, thought you
fucking going.
It was mentioned on the new Sons of Metal podcast. Jodie, who's one of the fans, she writes in a lot. She's going to the one, I think it's Bristol or Cardiff. So then a couple of days later, it's probably coming here. So
awesome. I will buy tickets, but it just depends when it is. But even if I buy tickets soon enough and get a rough date, I can just say to whatever obligations I have that weekend, fuck off. I'm going to a show. I'd
like to dearly apologise, but I don't think you understand what's going to happen tonight. I'm going to be a pirate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the
I will show up in like the front man of Sabaton with a stab-proof vest, aviator shades, and a mohawk.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what you look with the shaved head.
Yeah.
I've been rocking it for a while. I want to see what happens when other people
To
start
be
doing
honest, I like when I go for a shower, I'm like rubbing the shampoo and stuff in my hair. There's bits of my hair falling out. I'm like, nope, too young.
Nope.
Don't
Just
lose my
kind
hair.
of gluing it back on.
Just like picking it up, like stay the fuck in there.
No,
But yeah, I'm not one of those people that will have like the kind of friar tuck headband thing. Like, if it comes to the point where it's like patchy, I'm shaving the whole thing off.
good.
Like, I'll stick with the beard.
It works. I can tell you that
Yeah,
for a
I'm
fact.
just gonna shave the fuck. Like, I'm not vain enough to like. It's like, no, I need to have some hair. No, fuck it.
No, not Donald Trump comb over.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get the Donald Trump comb over.
But Debbie, I'm still not quite into it yet. I don't know why, but I was trying to listen to it in the gym the other day, and I was like, okay, I can try and listen to this and try and do the cardio section to it. It'll be fine. And then just don't know how, just kind of switched to like Butcher Babies and Five Finger Death Punch. You just kind of like skim through anything but the new album. I'll get to it eventually, but I promise. But I haven't managed to sit down and listen to the whole album, and that's maybe a bad sign that I can't listen to the whole album in one sitting. So
it's always a bad thing when, like, when one of your favourite. Oh, I suppose Devil You Know One. That would be one of my favourite bands because it's former Killswitch.
yeah,
And it's just a really good band. It's always bad when you see one of your like, upcoming bands that have done well in the past just doing shit.
it's someone you had so much hope in. But that was my week. What have you been doing?
Apart from the mountain of college work that I have to do, I've been playing more Shadow of Mordor, which I told you about last week, but I don't think we really spoke about it in the show.
No, you were talking about it was afterwards you were talking about the Urukai Captain's mechanic.
Yeah, it's like I've sunk about, say, 40 hours into this game so far. It's a really, really fun game. I've not even touched the story and I'm still about 40 hours in it. The whole point of this is you play a character called Talion, who is a ranger of Gondor, and his wife and child get killed, and his whole purpose is to find the Black Hand and seek justice for his wife and child. But in doing so, he interrupts a ritual to bring a wraith forward from the wraith world.
Right.
And in doing so, the wraith binds with him because you find out later through the game they're of similar circumstances. Your wife and child was killed, his wife and child was killed. You kind of bond through that and you get really cool kick-ass wraith powers out of that. Like, you can read their minds by channeling wraith energy into your hand and just putting your hand on their head. But in doing so, they become subservient to you.
Right.
If you leave them to live, they run back and say, no, you don't want to fight this guy, run. Like, he will fuck you up.
Right.
It's really cool. And they've implemented this really cool mechanic of, I think it's the revenge system, that if you get killed by, just say, a random unnamed Uruk,
Right.
he will get promoted to captain, and then he will be your revenge target. So when you kill him, all his followers become so shit afraid, they run and join another legion. They vacate the area that you killed the captain in.
Nice.
And they will not return to it because they're like, no, fuck that. He came back and murdered our captain brutally. I don't want to fuck with this guy.
We saw our captain kill a guy. That guy died, fell at the ground, disappeared, then showed up a week later, killed the fuck out of Ted.
It's like, did you see what happened to that Italian guy? Captain kicked him off a fucking bridge. He came back 2 days later, snapped Jim's neck. He was 2 days away from retirement, man.
He was 2 days away.
I'm going back on the force.
I gotta go home to my kids. He's just fucking terrifying art. It's just like, yeah, I got kids. And you're like, no, you don't. I don't want to imagine you procreating at all.
The most annoying thing is, if you're fighting an Uruk captain, the Uruks around him can fight alongside him. If they have an influence, if they just point at the sword and say, let's kill this Tark, and they'll just start firing you. The amount of times I've been fighting a boss and some little arsehole for the back who shot me with a crossbow, and then that little fucker was getting promoted to captain because he caught me unawares. Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So there's been maybe like 6 hour stretches of me playing that game and I'd be like, I'll go kill this guy. Oh, but that guy got promoted because he shot me in the face. He's going to die.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, his mate got promoted as well. He's going to die. And then, oh, his war chief arrived. Well, that's my mission, technically. I'm going to kill the war chief. Then another war chief rises up. It's like, these aren't fucking learning. I've killed about 12 of you guys. Stop promoting your captains. I will kill you all.
Can you imagine being like the 30th orc captain to get promoted to an area? You're the smart one. You were like drafted in from another area, and you're like, the last 29 guys have not had a good day. Every time this happens, the same fucker shows up, murders everyone around him, and then kills the captain. I don't want to be the captain. And then just the mouth of Sauron's like, but you will do it for Sauron.
Yeah. The Black Hand just goes, mate, you were contracted to work with Sauron. You're going to fucking work with Sauron.
You take the paycheck, you do the job. And just kind of walks off and murders a bunch of people.
He's just kind of like, it's just your wife and child. They will stay with me until your job is just, fuck's sake. Right, let's go kill this guy that I'm clearly going to get fucking killed by. And you murder them in the most brutal way, because when you grab them and you like channel the wraith energy, you're like holding onto their head to kind of read their mind. As soon as you're finished with that, you channel wraith energy and just snap their neck.
I did hear that the guy does not fuck around. Like there's some like
doesn't.
knife wounds and stuff that are just like, oh, you like you're murdering an orc. You're still looking at it going, I feel bad for the orc.
Like when you can go up, you can grab at any point like the foot soldiers. You can go up and grab them and use them as a meat shield.
Right.
To grab like the captain orcs, you need to break their health down a bit until they'll always their health meter underneath it will have like a skull to denote that they're the captain. When that goes green, you can go up and grab them. And as you're grabbing the captain or the foot soldier orcs, you can just shank them, just stab them in the back. And like if you do that, the other Uruk just kind of back off like, oh fuck, this guy means business, even though he's killed 45 of the fucking teammates.
He's killed 45 people, but now that he's stabbing someone in the kidneys, now it's real.
Jerry, don't stab him in the back. Like, no, fuck off. This guy's a prick. And that usually backs off. Or you get some really, really idiotic Uruks who just continue shooting him. Right. This is your captain, and we're firing an arrow at the Tark. It's not going to work. Yeah, I would highly recommend this game to any Lord of the Rings fan. It kind of plays like a mix between Assassin's Creed, like with the parkour and the free running, and the combat system is kind of like Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, because how free flow it is. You'll be attacking one guy, but then you tap back and you will do like this weird back slice thing to a guy that's behind you. Then if you hit left, you'll like deflect an arrow or a knife or something that's coming at you for the left.
Right.
It's a really cool free flow system. It's not as smooth as Batman's, because Batman got that system down pat.
Yeah, you have to really try to beat Batman in hand-to-hand combat systems.
Yeah. But apart from that, I'm really loving this game. All the mechanics are in place. It does get a bit janky with the parkour, because unlike Assassin's Creed where you ran up to the wall, pushed X, and then up, left and right became the only button you needed to use to climb. Right. You have to continually hold X to manoeuvre up. If you try and move up while not holding X, he just stands clinging onto the wall. That kind of annoys me a bit.
Alright, so it's like press X to actually move and jump and
But like there's a lot of other fun mechanics in it. Like you can shoot hives of, I think it's called Morgul flies, right, and they just mess everyone up. I've shot because they usually like dangle above strongholds. So if you shoot them with Elf Shot, which is the one shot, it's a one shot, one kill. Yeah, and you have to go into Wraith mode to use it. Right. So if you shoot the beehive with, or the fly's nest with Elf Shot, it drops down. And I've seen entire like platoons of Uruks just be shit feared of these flies and just run away. And then you get like mission completed screens because you've interrupted a giant feast of Uruks, and the captain has run away because there's a fly buzzing about him. Huh? It's pretty satisfying.
That sounds pretty good. I do like the Lord of the Rings series, and I like the idea that somebody went, let's put Batman in Lord of the Rings, and nobody stopped that guy.
I do like, there's another little way, I do like the kind of relationships he sets up with other characters. There's an orc, not an Uruk, because there's like slight distinctions between the two. Right. There's an orc called Ratbag, who he's like a snivelling killer. Right. He doesn't want to die, and then Talion's got him by the neck and he's like, no, don't kill me. Let me work for you. I'll crawl my way up the ranks. I'll become a war chief, and I'll basically allow you to murder the rest of like the other 4 war chiefs. Just let me live. I'll be your way in. Then Talion, like literally, is pulling out his knife to go and stab him in the throat. And the Wraith just goes, let him do it. Yeah. You can get the sense that when you're playing the game, the Wraith is just out to make you not kill everybody, but at the same time, it's giving you the tools to kill everybody.
Seems kind of strange. I just kind of say, let's just go full genocide with this thing. It's the orcs. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, like that is the entire nature of my game, just full genocide. Yeah. Like 45 wide platoons of orcs and Uruks have just been killed by me. Because there's one mission to draw out a war chief called Mormog the Surgeon. You have to kill 35 or 45 of his men, and when he walks in, he doesn't even bat an eyelid to the fact that you've killed 45 of them. Yeah. He just merely quotes, useless. Oh, you scum are useless. This is how you beat this stinking Tark. And he's like banging this club that's made out of like a warg's thigh bone or something like that, and he's just battering it off a shield made of dead flesh. And you're just sitting going, okay. And you just run up and stab him in the back a couple of times. You get in, because you can get intel from these characters as well. You can, when you grab them, you get 3 options. You can just kill them straight out. You can drain their health and energy, which transfers to Elf Shot and Focus Meter, or you can interrogate them, and that gives you information on other Uruk war bosses. So if you do that with the war chiefs, you can get information on other war chiefs. Alright. But you can only do that with war chiefs. If you just grab like a normal Uruk captain, they can only give you information on other Uruk captains.
Alright, so it's just kind of like a tier system of what it's worth your while to go and try and grab these guys.
And the whole point of like going after the war chiefs is you're trying to flush out the Black Hand, and the Black Hand will lead you to the mouth of Sauron, and then hopefully to Sauron itself, so you can finally put all this shit to bed.
Interesting. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, like pick it up. It's £15 anywhere that you pick it up for cheap. I'd highly recommend.
There's a lot of games that came out pretty cheap. There's been a lot of controversy about games handling of like the Fallout distribution. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who are missing stuff. My brother had problems getting his bobbleheads delivered. I don't know why he bought bobbleheads, but he did.
It's a cool little thing to have.
Yeah. My like a friend of mine at work decided to get an Elite controller.
Those things are expensive, and I don't see the benefit to them.
Apparently, it's one of the things. It's like VR. You're not going to get it until you've got it.
Ah, right.
So the extra weight is apparently a bonus. The feel of this controller, getting customize your options and stuff. Apparently, it's good. Not tried it yet.
I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I won't speak to it until I've got a shot of it as well. So they've had problems with that. There's been copies of Fallout just not delivered because it doesn't exist in the SOC system, so they're not sending it out. And there's been issues with just distribution of the Fallout 4 merchandise and stuff. So I went looking for stuff, and then somebody came back to me and goes, if you go into the store rather than online, they're doing a lot of discount games. So the Gears of War Ultimate Editions went down in price. Shadows of Mordor was on the list as well. What was the other one? There's another one I think kicking around. Somebody's trying to talk about Destiny, the original release being done, but I've already got the Legendary Edition of Taken King, so it's all the DLC. Yeah. So I've got that sitting there as well. So once from the hundreds of hours I'm putting into Fallout, hundreds of thousands of hours into Destiny. Did try it, really like the gameplay. So fast, so very fluid movement, and once you get the movement, like going between control schemes, complete fucking nightmare. So I've put down Destiny and I'm leaving it till after Fallout is done.
TV, that I know it's made by Bungie, isn't it?
Yes.
That could have been, because I've played some Destiny, like the vanilla version, like the original version of Destiny.
Yeah.
I would quite happily have let that be Halo 5, because Halo 5 was dog shit.
It plays like a better version of the Halo games that I've played a lot of the Halo games before, not played Halo 5 yet.
I was not a big fan of Halo 5. I played it for a bit round at my big cousin's house, and he's a huge, like most people nowadays, he's a huge gamer, a huge nerd. He's got a toy and comic book collection that will put anybody that you know to shame. Right. And he was inviting me around and said, right, I've just got Halo 5, invited a couple of folk around to play it, just going to play some other games as well. So I went around and I played a few matches of just like the couch co-op. Right. The couch co-op's like, the online's fine. It's Halo, it's just the same formula over and over again, but the story...
Do you know there's no couch co-op like on the same screen of the campaign?
Really?
No, nothing about it.
Dog shit.
I know, exactly. Like some of the best stuff we've done as far as like playing games is me and my brothers playing through the campaign of Halo. One of us goes like one the Arbiter, and one of us goes the Chief, and we just dick around and
destroy everybody. Or in Halo 4, one of these goes the Spartan 1, another one goes Spartan 2, and you just murder everything in your path.
Yeah, same with Reach. Did the same thing. It was just a lot of fun, and then they just decided to take that out for the next game. You're like, that was a dick move.
Someone told me that they might be doing the same thing with Street Fighter 5. If they are, I will be running to Japan. Yeah. And saying, what the fuck, you're ruining one of the biggest selling points of Street Fighter.
Apparently with the Halo release, it was to do with keeping the 60 frames per second. It couldn't handle rendering 2 camera angles at 60 frames per second, because the Xbox One, it's one of the things, people don't want to admit this, but the Xbox Series is power-wise and technology less powerful than the PlayStation Series.
Yeah, it's hardware limitation. To be honest, the Xbox One is kind of getting a bigger notice from me, because there's games coming out like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Scalebound, and Killer Instinct Season 3 that are grabbing my attention more than, say, any games that are out on the PS4.
Yeah, and that's one thing they are pushing massively in advertising.
And also backwards compatibility.
Yeah, we'll get back to backwards compatibility, but they will make that backwards compatible. But yeah, the gameplay is what they're pushing right now, saying this is the best lineup. I mean, my box over there just says, welcome to the best lineup of games for the Xbox. And it is. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in it. We've got the exclusive of the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's a timed exclusive. The Xbox get that for 6 months, and it comes out on PS4.
Yeah, but
I am planning a Xbox One buy within the next month. Yeah, I've spoke to my parents. They said, "What do you want for Christmas?" Like, money. Why? I want an Xbox One now.
My next one as soon as possible. So
Scalebound looks too good to give up.
Do you want to be strike buddies? We can play Destiny together. Yay!
I'll buy me some gold. That's the one thing I forgot about Xboxes. You still need to buy
the online passes. Yeah, the online permission thing. Yeah. It's not that bad.
But to be fair, I don't mind paying £40 a year for an outstanding online experience. That's the one thing that draws me towards Xbox more. It might not be as powerful as a PS4, but I'd rather have stable, well put together online than PS4s. Yeah, you can go online, but if you want to get the really good stuff, you need to get PlayStation Plus, and that's an extra £80 a year or something.
Yeah, it does cost
£80 a year, but it's
I'm cancelling mine, basically. That's what I'm going to say. I'm cancelling my PlayStation thing in favour of going for the Xbox one. So it wasn't too bad. The price wise, they're doing well because they realise that they're not worth the money they were charging originally, and especially now that everyone's now aware of the fact the PS4 is better. Power wise is better, so they're going for the gameplay and the service, which is fine by me. I don't mind playing. You're saying where it's less powerful. It's like a notch below.
Yeah,
but
if
everyone notices
if
that.
The
notch.
PS4's 60 frames per second. The Xbox One's got to be 59. Like, just as an example.
Frame per second's a bad example because people are picking out the frames per second a lot easier now, and though the frames per second can take an absolute beating on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I know it's done that for Fallout. I've been playing and suddenly I think I'm going through like a slideshow.
Yeah, it gets really. I mean, if the Wii U and the 3DS can manage 60 frames per second, surely the Xbox One and PS4 can do it in stride.
They're rendering a lesser game though.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck around here. Those games are nothing like current gen.
Yeah. Although I would say that the Wii U puts out a slightly higher resolution HD because it's Nintendo HD. Everything's bright and vibrant.
But that's the thing is, they don't need to go with like true photorealistic HD because they have a stylized version of it. It's
I
much
suppose
better.
everything's more cartoony and
It's a difference. It's a thing of power versus presentation.
Yeah.
And presentation can beat power. See, for example, Borderlands.
Yeah.
Much better looking game than a lot of the stuff that was coming out at the time. Not for power or how optimized it was for systems, but for presentation.
I do kind of like this time we're living in where there's just a lot of choice, and for someone who goes out and buys all the different consoles, like I'm just loving it because I own a Wii U, multiple 3DSs as we spoke about on a different show,
Yeah.
a PlayStation 4, soon to have an Xbox One. I just like having all this variety.
Yeah.
Because you're not tied down to one specific console. Well, like even back in the day when you said I want to go and get a console, but I only have no money to afford a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox. Not that many people that I know bought an Xbox.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I know bought into the PS2 and were extremely happy for it because PS2 is one of my favourite consoles of any generation. Just because of the games that I had, the controls and just everything about that system was just amazing.
We'll definitely need to switch to the backwards compatibility conversation then, because last week,
Unintentional segue.
fully intentional segue, because it feels like
I did not know I was making.
You're
a segue.
leaving so many like breadcrumbs. I was like, this isn't a trail anymore. This is a path of breadcrumbs that I can walk across.
I didn't even know I was leaving said bread.
But I got the Xbox, and then a day later they released the first big patch for backwards compatibility. It was also just a dashboard overhaul, which I'm so grateful for because it looked like a fucking pile of shit. It honestly, when you first get Windows 8 and you get that confusing tile system, that was the Xbox One's operating system. Motherfucker, like trying to navigate that with a controller, and you've literally just turned it on. I don't know how many people have. I think there's about 15 million Xbox Ones in use. That means 15 million people have turned on an Xbox One and went, what the fuck is this? It's an absolute pile of dog shit. So they overhauled it. A lot more cut down, less in the way. Much better system. Really happy that I've managed to jump on just as this update was arriving. And part of the update included the backwards compatibility, so you can now put an Xbox 360 disc into the Xbox One and it will boot up an emulator within the system to run Xbox 360 games.
Nice. Is there a certain list of 360 games that I can play, or is it just anything?
Not all of them made the cut. Top of my list of why isn't this on our backwards compatibility is Red Dead Redemption, because I fucking love that game.
That game was awesome. Like I bought the Game of the Year edition of that, and the zombie DLC was enough to make me.
The Undead Nightmare DLC was fantastic, but the game itself was really fun.
Really good. Like the single best ending of a game I've ever seen.
Yeah, and so much potential. It's an open world adventure game in the Wild West. If you've not played it, try and find a copy of it. You won't be able to play it on Xbox One, but you can play it on a 360 and have a great time.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cheap as well.
Yeah.
I got the Game of the Year edition for £10.
And then it's not on the list of things for the Xbox One, leaving everyone saying, what the actual hell are Microsoft playing at?
Yeah.
So
I need to have a look at what games are on that, because I've got a few 360 games that I'd like to play on the Xbox One again.
Yeah, and not sure how the Gears series will land in there, because that'll be a big one for us.
Well, I don't think they put that on it, given that the Ultimate Edition's out.
Well, the thing is, the ultimate version for Gears 1 was the last one they were going to do because of backwards compatibility.
Ah, right.
So I don't know what the hell is going to happen to it now. I hope they go with the ultimate versus just backwards compatibility for the Gears series, because I love it so much. So that's my personal hope. I don't think that's what, because there's no point in remaking a game if you can just get someone to play the disc again.
Yeah. I'm hoping that like my fighting games will be up there as well. Like, I'll be able to play like Ultimate Marvel 3, Ultra Street Fighter 4, like games like that, or like Blaze Blue as well. I'm hoping I can play that again in the Xbox One.
You can finally show me what the fuck Blaze Blue is, because you went on about it a lot and I never bothered playing it.
Blaze Blue is the weirdest, best fighting game you've ever seen. It's so dialogue heavy.
Is that the one where someone's swinging an anchor around the place?
No, that's Guilty Gear.
Oh,
they're pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
You'll be excused for thinking that they're the same game, same developer, but it's the dumbest reason that they came about but Guilty Gear was the story got too complicated for them even to write, so they made up some bullshit excuse of, oh, the core audience of Guilty Gear is getting too old for this game. We'll go make a game about a guy with a giant like scythe sword and a doctor with giant titties who has the soul of her dead husband in her staff. That sounds much more grown up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like BlazBlue is a really good game. The mechanics of the fighting game are really, really tight. The story chews bricks. Because from the first game, they done a sequel to that, and that was just a straight sequel. I think it was called... They all have weird names. Like the first one was called Calamity Trigger. The second one, I think, might have been called Chrono Phantasma. Then there's one after that, it's called Chrono Phantasma Extend. And then there's another 2 games after that. They all have really weird names.
Chrono Phantasma Extended.
Chrono Phantasma Extended plus Arc Edition.
No, it's Chrono Phantasma Extended Inter.
The story itself, I couldn't even begin to say what it is because I bypassed the story elements and just go, right, I'm going to play arcade mode or I'm going to touch the story mode. And the story mode's pretty lengthy because it breaks down the campaign into multiple chapters. Like you'll play one chapter as the main character Ragnar, who is like an amnesiac, but he's also a time traveller or some weird shit.
That's a bad combination of shit to happen to you.
You find out
you'd get lost. You time travel. You'd have amnesia, and you'd wake up and assume you're in Victorian London. Therefore, you're from Victorian London.
It's like, yes, I'm from London, mate. You're clearly from America.
Cool, blimey, mate. It's just one random American walking down the street trying to speak Cockney. That's the entire
Hello,
game.
mate.
Just falling and saying, "Oh, apples and pears," and just falling down the stairs.
Oh, cool, blimey.
Caught by apples and pears again.
Fell down the old apples and pears. Get on the dog and bone for me and ambulance. Mate, shut up. You're from Texas.
I brought me ham and eggs. Fuck off.
Stop with your rhyming slang. That's your first battle. You have to beat the shit out of the guy that keeps it. Yeah, like
time traveling amnesia.
Yeah, because you play the game up to a certain point, and then the main character Ragnar loops back, and I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this.
It sounds like someone developed that character when they were leaving at 5 o'clock and they realised they had 10 minutes left. Oh shit, I need to be out the building in 10 minutes.
Time travelling amnesiac, send.
I gotta go.
You find out that there's an event that's kind of wiped out. Like, it was like an extinction level event that almost wiped out an entire area. I can't remember. It's like either the world or just one key area of I think they're still calling it Tokyo, and there was a group called I think it was the 6 or 7 legendary heroes, and they just wiped out this creature called the Black Beast that was a result of a failed science experiment to bring something forward from an alternate dimension.
Right.
But it manifested itself in the real world as this big massive black beast that could destroy everything, and it worked in a system called ether, which was just like energy in the air that he could absorb and basically feed off of. And the main character, Ragnar the Blood Edge, he kills the Black Beast, but in the way of absorbing it.
Right.
But in doing so, he can become the Black Beast if he lets go. So he gets like limiters and shit put in his head. And that's why he's an amnesiac, because he needs to forget that he's the Black Beast, or he will become the Black Beast and bring about this extinction.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, I can kill everyone. That guy did just cut me off.
Just like, oh, I've got this limiter on my arm. Crack. And he basically, you see the gameplay from his perspective, and he wakes up at like every time period, and there's just some weird cat man who was one of the 6 legendary heroes going, yeah, you're Ragnar the Blood Edge. Here's a jacket and a sword. Go be Ragnar the Blood Edge again. Then he plays through the same scenario with slight differences. He ends up back with the cat man Jubei. It's like, sword, jacket, go do the thing. Then like with the 4th game, you can tell he's getting irate. Jacket, sword, fucking go do the thing. I'm sick of telling you this shit, man.
Yeah, here's a jacket, here's a sword, and I go sort of the same Goku Jedi. Like, just go murder everyone in Japan. Fuck it.
See that area, Kagutsuchi? Go and fucking murder everybody. You'll see a ninja man who uses a giant nail as a weapon, who will get naked at any chance he gets. One of his special attacks, he turns into a typhoon, and at the end of it, he's just standing there naked. Then he like puts his clothes back on and continues to fight.
Okay.
It's a pretty weird fighting game. But some of the best jiggle physics I've ever seen in a game. There's one character called Bullet who uses... In fact, you've seen Ruby, right?
Ruby as in the
animation?
Teeth, yeah.
You know Yang?
Yeah.
Barbara Dunkelman's character.
Yeah, the shotgun blasters, yeah.
She's got something like that, except without the shotgun part. It's just like big, like yellow gauntlets.
Alright.
And
just cestus then.
Yeah, just cestus, yeah. And I shit you not, when she's standing up straight, they're hitting her chin.
Right.
It's just because like most fighting characters, they have like an idle animation. For Ryu, he would sit with like his arms up in a kind of ready to fight position. He just kind of like bob up and down. With her, she's like constantly just flinging her back and forward, and she's jiggling up and down and hitting herself in the face. So yeah, BlazBlue for teenagers that like want to have something to crack off to, or fighting game enthusiasts is a game I'd recommend.
And those two are basically a massive overlapping event diagram.
Yeah, they're just the two, like one's like 2 sides of the same coin essentially.
That sounds like a weird Japanese story, so I think it's time for us to do Japan versus Florida.
It is indeed. I'll let you go.
Forced segue. Real quick, while we're both loading up pages on different mobile devices, I managed to get somebody to watch a little bit of RWBY. I said, just go watch anything. Just go watch a little trailer for it. And he watched like a 30-second trailer and was like, it seems a bit odd. Didn't quite get in with the animated style. And then fight scene kicked off and I was like, oh shit, now I get it. Okay, it's awesome. And it's a weekend. He's going to have time off. I'm expecting him to come back on Monday like, that was awesome. Just generally just kind of stunned look on his face.
He's
like,
going to come back dressed as RWBY, just like, dude.
I
like giant scythe. Like the schoolgirl, if it just, mate.
Mate, you seen this thing?
Like, holy shit, did you see the fight on the train?
Yeah. But yeah, so Japan versus America. You want to go first?
Yep, sure, I'll go first. Colin, I have a question for you.
Please, Dominic, ask me the question.
How much pain would you take to see boobs?
It's gotta be at least like a kick in the nuts. At least.
Okay, I ask you to pop up the technical difficulties music while I show you this video. We'll be back in about 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
5 minutes. So, we just borne witness to a Japanese game show, because why not go with a game show?
Yep.
And it's a clip that I've seen before.
Oh man, Lance, you told me you hadn't seen it before, man.
He sent me it, Lance Pear sent us that clip to try and win over the Japan versus America. He might win it, I'm not sure. But it is a game show where contestants are challenged to pull a woman's clothes off using pegs attached to their body. So the peg is attached via rope, they pull hard enough, they will see boobs. However, the peg is attached to a sensitive area. First guy got it to the nose, second guy...
5 pegs to the nostrils.
Yeah.
They had to just pull back with his head. They're not allowed to use their hands or anything.
Yeah.
They have to use the sheer power of their nose to pull off this woman's bra.
Second guy got it to the nipples and the belly button.
And the armpit.
I don't think that'd be that bad.
No, but like, see right here?
Yeah, I have a lot of dead tissue there. I have a lot of like with problems, stuff at that time. So yeah.
Maybe it's attached to the armpit hair. I'd just be like ripping that out.
Nah, it looks like it's just at the front of the armpit, which is weird. Cause
that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, for me that's like muscle, so that wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt so much on me.
Yeah, we could do this. We could go to Japan and
fuck it.
Yeah, let's go to Japan right now.
We'll sort out their like
failing porn industry, and then we'll go see boobs. Wait, we could do
see
both.
Boobs, then go see more boobs.
Yeah, go see boobs, and then be paid to see boobs.
But if we're doing a porn movie, would we get paid to do the porn movie?
Yeah, but we'd see boobs, so we'd
be getting paid to. We'd be going to Japan to get paid to see boobs.
Yeah,
on both counts.
I suppose you would get paid for the game show. If we win, we get paid to see boobs.
We get paid double.
You paid double.
We get paid to go on the game show. Anyway.
Oh, nice. Oh, we have a serious money-making scheme here. So the Gibberpish official trip to Japan is going to be an absolute success.
Yep.
You will be paying, if you're joining us, you'll be paying for your own ticket there, but you'll be leaving with stacks of cash. Yep. So it'll be
Japanese cash though. So it'll come back and you'll have like 20 quid.
Yeah.
Exchange rates are pretty shit over there.
I thought they were doing okay.
Yeah, but still.
Oh no, wait! They actually just posted the first loss.
Yeah, it's like 100 yen is £1.
Shit.
So.
But yeah, not bad. Mine's going a bit darker though, and it doesn't feature a video that we'll have to put up the technical music for. Yeah. So, a man accidentally shot and killed a woman in a freaky sex game.
Okay.
So, a Florida man was arrested.
I have so many questions.
Let's see if we can read this and maybe answer some of those. The man was arrested on manslaughter charges after he shot a woman in the head during what he called a freaky sex act. A man named Tyrone Fields called 911.
If you were going to get convicted of a sex act, your name would have to be something like Tyrone.
Tyrone Fields.
Just like, sir, could you please use your name for the court? Tyrone Fields.
He called 911 himself to report that he'd shot a woman at a hotel inn, and he met the woman 2 days earlier. He claims that the woman named Christina Meager, it's a weird spelling of, it's Meagher, who is 18, asked him to put a 9mm to her head while they were having sex. However, despite taking out the magazine, he forgot to take the one out the chamber. Someone was not feeling lucky. Something about a punk. According to Tampa Bay police report, the defendant stated that he intentionally pulled the trigger as part of the role play, and then the handgun discharged, putting the round into the woman's head. Security cameras around the area show that the two went into the hotel room, like consensually. It's just people going to hook up in a hotel. And the autopsy had to rule out sexual battery. So, he's been arrested with charges of manslaughter with a weapon and discharge of a firearm resulting in death. So, that guy's pretty screwed. But yeah.
I want to know if she demanded that he wore a condom just so she would feel safe.
Oh, that's right. To like, it's a dark story. That's like the heart of darkness, right there.
If they tell Lane, it's just like, no, don't. I won't put a condom on. I want to feel safe. But get that fucking 9 out and put it to my head.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want to see what the NRA stance on this is. They'll probably just go, well, he didn't practice proper safety. He may have practiced safe sex, but he wasn't practicing proper gun safety. Always check for the one in the chamber. Jesus, it was really dark, but I was like, that is so Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, throughout the course of this show, and since we started Florida versus Japan, I never want to go to fucking Florida.
Yeah.
It just put me off going to Florida completely.
Japan's always kind of cute in a weird kind of we don't get the culture type of way, and I was worried it was going to turn into that. That's why I said to balance out with Florida, which is all the wrong types of crazy. Yeah.
You begin to wonder how some of these people even put on their clothes in the morning if they're going to do weird shit like this. Like, yeah, I'm going to go and have sex with a woman.
This one sounds...
If she's into kinky shit, so I'll bring my 9 with me.
Well, it does sound like this was a request that she'd made to this guy. And, yeah, it does seem like a genuine accident gone wrong.
Yeah.
But we've got this plan to do this weird kinky thing. Oops, now she's dead.
Yeah, well, negligence and the like.
It can't be the only one of those that's happened.
No.
There's got to be like a series of deaths resulting from just, I have a good idea of how I'm going to jizz myself this time.
Well, we look at David Carradine from Kill Bill. Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Strangle wank.
Strangle wank.
There's been several of those in the last couple of years. A member of a boy band did it.
Yeah.
And apparently when you say that phrase in front of certain members of your family, they do not like it when you do that. Yeah. So
to be honest, I've never once been sitting down for dinner with my family and went, you know who died of a strangle wank recently?
Oh, I do that. I'm just shameless on that. But yeah, people don't like it.
I've still got very old prudish parents. They still try and get me to apologise whenever I say the word fuck on the rugby pitch. Like, some guy dislocated my shoulder. I am entitled to swear my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, my arm is hanging like down at my ankle and I'm standing up straight. I'm entitled to swear my tits off.
Yeah. Let loose. I don't imagine they listen to this podcast then.
No.
No, we drop a few F-bombs. Shamelessly.
Shamelessly.
It's a cultural thing. You just don't understand it.
Yeah, we use the word fuck as a comma over in Scotland. This will be transferred heavily over to the fucking podcast.
Yeah. So, Japan versus America. I don't know. I like mine because it's more relevant. It happened last week.
I think that was like a game show from 2014, but...
Yeah. Leave it up to the viewers. Leave it up to the viewers to decide. They get to vote and say who we present the best of horror and nightmares from our respective areas, and then we
there was another one
leave
that
it
got
to you
sent
guys.
from Lance, and it was I don't know how this is even a game show, but there was one guy who was sitting on kind of like a skateboard, and he was getting sent down a channel, like getting sent down like a kind of ramp thing, and there was all these women standing over him wearing like different coloured underwear, and wherever he landed on this board, he would score that many points.
Right.
But like, I was just watching it going, how the hell do I explain this to anybody? And I still don't have a decent way to explain it.
You might have to send that link to me and see if we can figure out how to explain what sounds a bit like curling, but with women's underwear and skateboards.
Yeah, it's like the guy sits like in a kind of crucifix position, gets sent underneath all these women who are standing like legs akimbo.
Yeah.
Showing their underwear to this guy, and there's some guys in there with skirts as well. So I'm pretty sure if you land there, you get no points.
Yeah.
You just get the dissatisfaction of some dude just standing over you, like going, "Oh, hello, you can see my gooch."
Yeah. Enjoy.
I did not shave.
I was gonna say shaved it just for you, but then that got a lot worse. Okay. So yeah, Japan versus America. Tweet us at Gibberpish and give us your answer on who you think wins Japan versus America.
Yep.
Or Japan versus Florida, sorry.
Japan versus Florida.
Not all of America's bad.
Oh, I just remembered. I did post something on Twitter that I don't want to talk about.
Right.
The new addition to Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U.
Very good, because I was wondering about this, and I think I know who it is. But
Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
That's who I was worried that it was. This is going to get bad, people.
Well,
grab a drink. I will.
Yeah, please do grab a drink, because I will be here for a while. I have 2 points on this. One...
Yar.
Is Colin's drink of choice is Captain Morgan's. Is it spiced or unspiced rum?
Spiced.
Spiced rum with a Pepsi Max. He's drinking it out of a red solo cup.
YOLO yar.
YOLO yar.
YOLO yar.
So, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII is in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. One, it opens the floodgates to anybody. There is no, like, Masahiro Sakurai is saying no one is off limits. Like, we might even potentially see Goku coming into this fucking game. We might even see characters like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. We might see other third-party characters like Solid Snake, or somebody told me Crash Bandicoot might even be in it at some point. I don't care. If the floodgates are open, I want Solid Snake, I want Shovel Knight, I want, fuck it, give me like Salvador from Borderlands. Have him go in there and shoot people up.
I have heard all those rumours and all those ideas about who should and who might be in the series or who might appear as...
And this is like throwing out any conception I had of who could be in it. I thought that they had a list of people that they were going to choose from the ballot. Cloud wasn't even anywhere on that list, but now like Cloud's on it. No one expected it. We're getting him. It's made me think, who the hell else are we going to get?
Well,
who's the potential?
Cloud is property of Square Enix,
yeah,
as part of Final Fantasy. So Square Enix and Nintendo working together.
They did work together on Final Fantasy Explorers, which is like a kind of Monster Hunter style Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a surprise. The idea that those two big, huge Japanese companies have some overlap is to be expected. They are titans of the gaming industry, and they probably work within a couple miles of each other. I'm not entirely sure what the business layout of Japan is.
Yeah, well, they'll work within the like kind of centre of Tokyo, and you could literally walk from one end of Tokyo to the other, and you could see about 12 video game companies.
Yeah, so if those two happen to work together, not really a surprise. The idea of Goku being in there is one that's been floated before.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm just saying.
No, he's not going to get in there.
It's just Cloud's inclusion in the game is just opened up the floodgates. People are like saying, "Oh, right, Cloud could be in it. Who else could be in it? We could have any character in it." And people are actually pushing Goku more and more. Like Phoenix Wright from the Phoenix Wright games, where you play a lawyer. People want him to be in the game as well. I'd be all for that because I think it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, you love Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I have all of those fucking games.
Right. The thing is, right, I'll try to work out of how I want to explain this. It seems like the best way would be to say that anyone from Square Enix's game.
Yeah.
Anyone from the Kingdom Hearts is game as well, even though it's a Disney property that
I doubt we'd see like Donald Duck or Goofy.
Oh no,
I mean, like Sora or Riku.
The Final Fantasy half of Kingdom Hearts is game now.
Yeah,
that's to be expected. Anyone from the kind of extended or tangential universes. I thought Snake was in a previous Brawl.
He was in Smash Bros. Brawl,
right?
And he was my personal favorite character from that game because they couldn't have him like pull out an M16 and shoot people with it, so he was all about explosives and firing rocket launchers at people because that's safer than firing a rifle at people.
If you fire a rocket at someone, you can have a fun explosion effect. If you fire an M16 at someone, you have to put bullet holes.
Yeah, you're putting bullet holes in Mario.
Yeah, in a Mario character. Yeah. Probably not going to go down too well.
But Snake's a bit of a long shot given Kojima's current standing with Konami to the point that he's actually been blocked off their Twitter feed.
Well, I don't know what the hell this chat account is, but we did find out.
That's his genuine account.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck,
that's
awesome.
His genuine account. He genuinely got my message saying, "On yourself, Kojima-san."
That's hilarious. There's a Twitter account associated with Hideo Kojima that it's a Lego version of him is the profile picture. I'd go find it. It's very, very funny. I'm still waiting to hear an official confirmation. I want that little verified tick at the side of the profile. But if it is him, it's the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen.
The best Twitter profile I've ever
I don't think it is though. It's too good to be true. It cannot be that the account calling Konami a bunch of like twats and that cannot be true.
I think the official comment was, "Oh, I see. This is how it is. Pussies."
Yeah, I don't. That's the comment. Like up until then, it was pretty close to like what I think might be a real account by Hideo Kojima, but. The use of the word pussies isn't quite right. I want to check it out. And I imagine that the kanji underneath his description probably is, this is a parody account.
Yeah, it might translate to, this is only a parody account.
I might go grab it and throw it through Translate and we'll find out. But the idea, it wouldn't matter if it was him. I think Konami still hold the rights to Metal Gear.
No, it's a Kojima production.
His name was wiped off the list and they still get to put it out. I'm thinking it's Konami own Metal Gear. It's very hard for a creator and a producer and a director of the series to still claim the title after they leave the company they bought it to. The contracts are written in that way to be a complete pain in the dick for anyone trying to leave.
I do think there will be a bit of a legal debate over that because it is Kojima's child. This is what brought him into gaming or into the forefront of gaming. I think there will be an effort on his part to definitely reclaim Metal Gear Solid because he does want to do more Metal Gear Solid. There's a Metal Gear Solid 6 that he was going to plan where he was going to revisit Solid Snake.
Right.
He's finished Big Boss, like all the prequel stuff, he's finished that. He wants to revisit Solid Snake and he wants to revisit Raiden for Metal Gear Rising 2. And there's another couple of side stories that he wants to do. He is in no way, shape or form finished with Metal Gear. Yeah. Even though he keeps claiming year after year that this is going to be the last Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid 3 was meant to be the last Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, they're all meant to be the last Metal Gear. Yeah. But then we keep getting more like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
It's why I don't give a shit. It's the main reason I'm just kind of, okay, the head of the creative department of this game cannot stop with this game and stop releasing it like 20 years after it was initially released. Fuck it, I'll let it pass. I don't care.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was pretty good. I'm enjoying that, but it's just every time I start playing it, I get really, really distracted because I like open world games, but I can get very, very distracted in them.
Right.
And whereas in Metal Gear Solid, in Fallout, open world, you can do anything. You can go out and do this mission, or halfway through that mission, you can nip that one off and go to another one. In Metal Gear Solid 5, you get dropped into a mission area. You cannot then go off to the left and do another mission. You have to stick to this mission, but you have an infinite number of ways to doing it, and it can get a bit overwhelming.
Right.
But it will be one of those games that I power through because my list of games that I need to finish is getting fucking bigger and bigger.
And the problem is that the games on that list keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, like Fallout 4, that's going to be at least 100+ hour game if I want to finish it.
Yeah.
Shadow and Mordor, that'll be 80+ hours. Shovel Knight, that's like a toilet game for me.
Yeah.
The reason I've not been playing it is because it's quite an easy game.
Yeah. You can leave it for a bit and
come back to it, and I'm not going to lose any skill or anything.
That's the reason I put Destiny on hold, is that I reckon I can go back and pick that game up pretty quickly. And it won't be an issue. I'll just leave it until after I'm done with Fallout. Yeah, the whole thing with certain characters appearing as that, I thought you'd be kind of okay with it.
No, I am okay with Cloud as a character because I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be shit. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. It's ruining the game for me. Then in the character trailers, they show you how the character plays. Right. And he plays pretty well. He's just your standard heavy hitting sword user. Right. And he's got some really cool moves in that. He has one of his main mechanics is he has a limit bar, and if he fully charges that limit bar, it boosts his smash attack. So instead of dealing the normal 50 to 55% damage that a smash attack would do, if with your fully charged limit break meter, that deals 80%, which is essentially a one-hit KO. Right. And
by the time you've got to hit the smash ball, you'll have put a certain percentage of damage on people anyway.
Yeah. So if you go and get the smash ball, then you can do... The only problem with his final smash is that, unlike Ike's, you can't... Because he does the sweeping motion, then knocks him into the air and does like a multi-hit combo, then knocks him to the ground. Right. Which is kind of the same to Cloud. Cloud can only hit one person, which is weird because he's got this massive giant paddle of a sword.
He is holding the side of a bus for a sword.
That's another reason why I didn't like it. It's like it doesn't seem feasible. I know you're playing like
he's a scrawny little dude,
and he's holding a sword the size of a building. But some of the moves that he can do, that he does this move where he launches you forward with the sword, but then uses the hilt of the sword to hit you off, bring you back. And I thought it doesn't really make sense. But then I realised I'm talking about
an anime character,
a Japanese role-playing game character. And to be fair, I'll probably buy him because I bought every other character. I bought Roy, and I've never used Roy. The only character that I really used out of that 3-character pack was Ryu, and he's kind of become my main character just because it's a Street Fighter character and a Smash Bros game. So it's one of my favourite franchises, the title character of that franchise, and it's got a simplistic control scheme. I sign on the fucking dotted line for that.
Yeah, I wonder how quickly the Amiibo is going to sell out for this thing, because the Amiibo sales have been doing pretty insane numbers recently.
I shit you not, when I was in Edinburgh buying Got Your 6, the Five Finger Deathmatch album, I literally seen 2 kids fight over a Mewtwo amiibo.
Well, he is pretty cool. I mean, he's the secret Pokemon.
Yeah, he's the secret Pokemon. Yeah. Also the cheapest fucking character in Smash Bros. He has so much priority. Obviously, there's in fighting games that are talking about priority. If you throw a fireball out, and if you're playing Street Fighter, if Ryu or Ken or Akuma throw a fireball out, and Guile throws like a Sonic Boom, Hadouken will have priority over the Sonic Boom. Or if M. Bison goes to punch you, and you go to do an uppercut, M. Bison will have priority over you. Right. Mewtwo has priority over everybody. Like all his moves, like if you're in the middle of a 3-hit combo, then Mewtwo just comes in and throws out a B attack. That B attack's going to hit you. Yeah, and
his slower attack gets past your fast attack.
That's the thing. He is a tank. Like he's not. I wouldn't really say he's a glass cannon. He can take damage without getting launched instantly off the screen. So he's not like your Zero Suit Samus who can deal damage really quickly. But if you get a hold of her, you can insta KO her in about 4 or 5 moves. Right. Mewtwo is just a very heavy hitter, and it's very hard to combat one of them online. Because I've been playing it online a lot lately. Because it's either that or sit and do college work, and my head might explode if I look at any more statues. So I've been playing that online, and everyone's been going either Mewtwo or any the other older characters like Lucina from Fire Emblem, or Link is getting he just got a few buffs, I think. Right. People are playing him a lot more. And then every time you go up against a Mewtwo, I'm trying to play Ryu, and he can reflect fireballs back at you, he can grab you and launch you off the stage, and you go for miles and stuff.
Real quickly, did you hear the name of a possible female Link character? Linkle. Because fuck it, why bother naming? Another that one was done even closer to the time limit. That guy was 4:55. Oh shit!
This guy's I have a minute and a half to get out of work. This guy's expecting me to come up with the female Link's name. All I have is a Link.
The name that could define the generation of female gamers.
It just goes L-E.
Linkle. Nailed it, and just sends. Yeah.
But yeah, it's another example of a stupid name. The character looks really fun to play within Hyrule Warriors, and the special edition for Hyrule Warriors is really, really nice. You get obviously you get the game, you get a poster, and you get this really, really nice stopwatch.
Right.
And the character uses in game, but it's like a proper, like massive, like, cool stopwatch, and it's like got the Triforce and stuff on the back. It's like all really nicely embossed and embroidered. It's really cool. That's my big problem with Nintendo. With that Direct that they put out a couple of weeks ago, they announced this really, really cool shit. They announced Twilight Princess HD, which is the game that kind of got me back into Zelda, because I played it for a bit when I was younger. I didn't really have anything to play the newer Zeldas on, and then the Wii came out, I got Twilight Princess, and that game blew my fucking socks off. Now they're giving us an HD version, and you get another special edition, you get the game, you get other stuff with it, like an art book, and you get a Wolf Link amiibo.
Okay.
So, I'm not a big fan of amiibos. I own 3, that's the only 3 I'd ever said I was own. I'm done with that. My brother, he's burning through stacks of cash to get all these different amiibos. He spent about 18 quid on a Mega Man amiibo.
Wow.
But, yeah.
The amiibo systems, I like the idea, but
It's
the
only
way it's
they're
turned
only-
out, it's
yeah.
pretty bad.
They're only going to be rare until Nintendo pick up production again. They fucked up and they didn't put half as many amiibos into production as they should. They didn't pick up on the popularity of a Nintendo product. People, like, Nintendo has the most rabid fan base of any of the big gaming companies.
Yeah.
People are going to buy into this shit. It's just a toy that you can tap onto your Wii tablet and you get stuff in games. Like, yeah, but it's a cool thing. Like, I now have this little model of Ike sitting on my dresser. Like, fair enough, but you spent 10 quid on a toy that you're only going to use a couple of times. Like, maybe it justifies the purchase of people. Maybe people like having that little statue on their dresser or something.
Well, this podcast has been really gaming heavy, and we're going to try and wrap up the show, but we won't do it without mentioning that the nominees for the Video Game Awards have come out for 2015. So the VGAs are kind of... It's one of those things of, we don't really give much of a shit about the awards because every website does their own, but the VGAs seem to be...
Yeah, they're kind of the big one.
They got a little bit of weight to them. Most people, don't give a shit because every blog has an award, so who gives a shit about the next blog set of awards? But the VGAs do okay because they're actually like a live streamed broadcast performance for the award ceremony. Previously it's been done by Joel McHale, who I like, from his roles in Community, and the now recently cancelled Soup show. The Soup was...
that got cancelled?
Yeah,
I always liked that show. It's funny shit to say.
They're really brutal to like their own shows in a weird way because it's on the E network, and for some reason he was allowed to just stand. Imagine being allowed to stand in your boss's office and then just talk shit about your boss.
I love it.
It'd be great and get paid for it, and they'd pay you money to do it, and just they didn't pay attention to you, so you got away with it. And it seems like they've now decided to stop producing it, which is strange because the production value in that show is 1 green screen, 1 camera, chairs for the live studio audience. It's fucking it. Seriously.
That's it, just green screen and chairs.
Green screen chairs, and the weird thing is, like, you think, well, maybe Joel McHale is asking for too much money. Probably not, considering that he has a sponsored wardrobe every episode. His wardrobe appears as a credit, like, so it comes up like with a credit, like, oh, here's the director, here's the producers, executive producers, here's the writing staff, and then Joel McHale's wardrobe brought to you by blank, and it'll be like Ralph Lauren or Hugo Boss or something like that. You're like, oh, like he's being paid to wear nice clothes. So I don't imagine he's being too greedy with cash. He does other stuff, so he doesn't need a huge amount of money. So they just I think they must have just shuttered it because it was like, it's not worth the controversy.
I do have a question for you, consider on just kind of talk shows and stuff that you watch. Have you watched the new format of The Daily Show with Trevor Noah?
I've watched a few episodes of it, and I quite like what he's doing.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, how does he match up to Jon Stewart?
No one is going to match to Jon Stewart, and we're going to find out about that because Jon Stewart is now back. He has a kind of recent news that he is going to be involved with HBO, doing HBO Go stuff.
That's their online service, isn't it?
Yeah, it's their online digital. They have other versions of it that are part of like package deals, or like it's HBO now available on like Apple TV, but HBO Go is their streaming service, their app, their everything. He will be doing online digital content for them. So rather than like a full, his main thing is, I was doing a show for 7 years. I did a half an hour, and we wrote it and made it all in a day. So I want to do less time. I think it's gonna be like 4 or 5 minute videos. Nothing's really concrete yet.
Yeah.
But he's going to be doing like short form entertainment for HBO Go.
Just more Jon Stewart, because the guy is ridiculously intelligent and just stupidly funny.
Yeah, so he's been tagged into that now. So it was pretty good.
But back to the VGAs. Who's been nominated for?
I want to quickly grab, because we said with Joe McHale this year.
Please don't tell me it's St. Patrick Harris. Let someone else fucking host.
It was Jeff Keighley, who did a lot of the E3 coverage with Rooster Teeth this year.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, and a lot of people liked his 2014 show.
He's a good host.
So he's coming back to do it this year, which is always good because it's. I mean, I saw Joel McHale's version of the Video Game Awards, and it was pretty bad to watch. I thought it was kind of funny because it's him taking the piss out of everyone in the room, including himself, and I thought that was funny because that's his style. But at the same time, people watching it from the outside, maybe not being a fan of his, didn't quite get it, and it came across really badly, like he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, he maybe doesn't give much of a shit because he's not a big gamer. You never see him tweeting about it. But at the same time, like, nobody really enjoyed seeing that presentation of him just showing up and saying, "Yeah, so video games, here comes the fucking shooter category."
Yeah.
And you know, it was kind of funny to me, but at the same time, it was really kind of cringy and awkward. So we've got a couple of categories. There's a lot of categories. You can go on the website and we'll tweet a link to that.
Yeah.
But we're going to go through Game of the Year. I think we'll go for Developer of the Year, just to see who's on the list.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
We'll go through a list and we'll announce the category, or we'll read the categories. So, Game of the Year, Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker, and The Witcher 3. Is the weird thing I've noticed is Fallout 4 came out last week.
Yeah, so
Pretty quick. Weirdly enough, the awards list was out, but you had to be out by today. So we're recording on the 20th of November. You had to be a game out and published today to qualify. So Fallout 4
just under the wire. Just under the fucking wire.
Some other games didn't make it. There's a lot of people going, "Oh shit, well that's Just Cause 3 out the loop."
Oh, what a shame.
And so I think it looks like a fun game, but it's one of the things
I'm not a fan of the Just Cause games. There's no... The gameplay in that game is very, very loose. And the gun controls and stuff, it's not a good game. I'm not a fan.
It's just one of those things of, when it comes to like award ceremonies, if you put a date saying you must be before or after this date to qualify, anything like really close to that date for next year's launch, it's fucked. Yeah. Because by the time it gets to that year, by the time it gets to next year where your award you can be considered, you won't make the cut because your game will have been destroyed. Like picked apart and torn to pieces. So Fallout 4 made it. Bloodborne, I didn't get to play that because I didn't like the Victorian aesthetic. And a lot of people are like, but it's just the aesthetic. You can just play the game and enjoy the gameplay. If I'm annoyed at the fact that I'm going around in a top hat, I'm not going to enjoy the gameplay.
Yeah, if
I will get annoyed.
Yeah. Murdering demons kind of takes me out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded the Victorian London setting, but I'm not a fan of... Well, I've tried to get into the Dark Souls type of gameplay, but...
So for you it's a mechanical problem, it's me, it's the aesthetic.
Yeah, I've never been able to devote much time to getting into that game because it's the amount of stuff I have to do during the week. It's most of these like pick up and play games like Shovel Knight or Shadow of Mordor and like Street Fighter, just games that I know how to play. That
I can pick it up for like a half an hour to an hour, put it down
quick
again.
match on Street Fighter, then I can go back to doing whatever the hell I was doing.
Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker was an interesting. That's like the kind of wild card one for me. Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't surprise me if it got it because a lot of people were liking Super Mario Maker. It's getting to the point where something like for every hour, like 13 million levels are being created and uploaded. Like the amount of people that are buying this game and just uploading levels.
Wow,
that might have been a slightly exaggerated
number. It's a big
high
number, but even if it's like 1,300,
yeah, it might actually be like 100,000 point something.
Yeah,
levels uploaded an hour.
Yeah, and then you've got the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I'd say it's between The Witcher and Fallout, with maybe Phantom Pain going for it. Don't think Bloodborne's going to win it.
No, I don't think Bloodborne's going to win it. Mario Maker, I'll get a look at. They might get a special shout out.
Yeah,
a special recommendation. But I genuinely think The Witcher and Fallout.
Witcher and Fallout. As much as people love the Metal Gear Solid series, I don't see that one taking a win just because.
I don't know.
It was so it's not everyone's game.
It was a slow burner because a lot of people, when they got the game, the one thing they were really, really annoyed by was the fact that Snake does not talk for the first 6 hours of that game.
So next up is the development studio. So developer of the year. You've got Bethesda Game Studios, CD Projekt Red, From Software, Kojima Productions, and Nintendo. So pretty much the same list we just read off. So Bethesda for Fallout, CD Projekt Red for The Witcher, From Software, Bloodborne,
Nintendo Super Mario Maker,
and then Kojima for the thing. So
PS5.
I think that one. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if this is jury voted. So if it was up to the public, that would be Kojima Productions because Kojima.
I don't know. I think if it was developer of the year, given how
the rabid fan base in Nintendo, do you think it'd win?
Yeah, I think Nintendo would take that hands down.
I think there's enough of that Venn diagram spreads enough to encapsulate both groups to get Kojima the win. As for a jury voted one, so people basically on a committee,
Yeah,
to be fair, CD Projekt Red have a smaller audience, but because of the way they're handling DLC, if that was
Sorry, CD Projekt Red, they are The Witcher.
The Witcher, yeah, because The Witcher's got free DLC.
Free DLC?
There's microtransaction stuff in there, but the majority content comes from free DLC. So
I would definitely have to say it's between, like, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on either Nintendo or Kojima.
yeah, as much as people like Bethesda and people are impressed by Fallout,
It still has its bugs.
yeah.
And it still has its grape. People still have their grapes and stuff with it.
Well, I've actually punched a glowing one into a wall once. I meleeed it and it got stuck in a wall. I just then proceeded to take it apart limb by limb and complete the mission. Anyway, so it's Kojima and Nintendo, I think, for that one.
Yeah.
You should be placing bets on this.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to bother with the indie game or best mobile handheld game because we don't play much. Best narrative.
Yeah, sure, we can go for that one. Although I think
It's all indie games.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe Her Story. Don't know what that is.
Nah.
Life is Strange. Don't know what that is. Tales from the Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands. That was a really good game. It was one of those like Telltale episodic games.
Here we go. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So
Best narrative.
it's a possible one. And then Until Dawn. Motherfucker, that might be Until Dawn's category to win.
It might be, yeah.
It might be Until Dawn or an indie game.
Yeah.
Because
Until Dawn
between
is Until Dawn and Borderlands. Just because Tales of the Borderlands had just a
I
really,
don't
really
think
good story.
episodic games do well anywhere, especially not in an award show.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see Until Dawn take it because they have a lack of nominations as far as I'm aware. Best performance would be an interesting one because we're fans of the actors behind video games.
We're all voice actor fans.
Ashley Birch from Life is Strange. Don't know who that is.
She was Tiny Tina on Borderlands 2 as well, so you might know for that.
Okay, interesting. But it's for another game. Camilla Luddington for Lara Croft in Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
Interesting.
She did put in a good performance in Tomb Raider, the first one, just playing the kind of frightened girl who's not really sure of what she's doing. But I don't know how well she would do playing the kind of more assured and certain of herself character.
Well, I think she can. If she's progressing with the character, she could do it.
Yeah, if she's growing with the character, I think.
Yeah,
that will help her a bit.
I like that you've explained it that much. It's going to be funny later on. Doug Cockle as Geralt from The Witcher Wild Hunt. Interesting. Vivia Seifert from Her Story. And I've deliberately mistimed all this to put Mark Hamill as the Joker from Batman Arkham Knight at the end.
Don't even fucking
because you just switched all those and you're like, fuck that bitch I explained before. Mark Hamill as the Joker wins.
Mark Hamill wins. You cannot compete in any way, shape or form with Mark Hamill. The VGAs may as well be called These Guys Win and also we give a trophy to Mark Hamill.
It was great. I knew that would happen. I saw him come up on the list. I was like, as you were explaining, you're like, oh, that Lara Croft character, pretty good. Nah. I was just skimming down because I'm not read all the way through these. I saw Mark Hamill like Dom's gonna have to eat his own shit. See, and Mark Hamill's the person you want to win, but I don't know as far as the performance goes.
No, Mark Hamill wins.
I haven't checked it. Okay, Dom's voting for Mark Hamill. He's gonna get himself a ticket.
I would vote for Camilla Luddington, but Mark Hamill wins. It's just every time Mark Hamill has been an option at the VGAs, Mark Hamill wins.
Right, so best shooter is...
I'm just going to, mind my own business during the section. I have no fucking feelings on it.
You have no horse in this race.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Destiny the Taken King,
I never give them a vote.
Halo 5 Guardians, Splatoon.
Okay, my opinion has changed.
Yeah, and Star Wars Battlefront. Huh.
Okay, taking out the fact that Star Wars Battlefront's an unfinished piece of shit. Splatoon's a good game, it's constantly getting updated, but a lot of people just look at it as like kids paintball.
It is kids paintball, but apparently it's the best kids paintball game you've ever played.
It's very fun. I can sink about 8 hours into that game a day.
I looked at it and was like, this looks like Team Fortress 2.
Pretty much is Team Fortress 2, but without the classes.
Yeah, it's painty Team Fortress 2. Also, you're a squid.
Yeah,
and then
you
you're
can
a kid.
dive into ink and jump, do cool super jumps.
I'm like, if you want a nonsense game, this is pretty much going to win it. So I quite enjoy Destiny Taken King. I don't know how it stacks up against some of the other shooters.
Yeah, but unfortunately Black Ops is going to take that. Even if it's dog shit, the amount of people that bought it are still going to warrant it getting an award.
Not entirely sure because, stuff like Destiny Taken King is stomping for consistent users every day.
Yeah.
And for your stuff like the sheer number of sales, Destiny has got a shoe. And it's weird that Destiny... It's weird. I think the Taken King is like an expansion or a DLC pack. It's weird that that's getting its own category because it is technically also its own game.
Yeah, I always seen the Taken King as like a 0.2. version 2 of Destiny, like Destiny.
I think
the
it's
first one.
Destiny 2.0. It's not point 2.
Yeah, Destiny didn't work as well, so we're going to redo it. We're going to give you the same game and this bonus pack in the taking count. Consider this Destiny now, please disregard the other one.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I'd be happy to be, having played some Destiny Taken King, happy to consider that a finished game that deserves its own awards.
Yeah.
So you don't think Star Wars Battlefront's going to take it?
No, it's too unfinished and there's too much controversy around it. People complain about the DLC and the season pass.
Okay, this is really just going to be you fighting against yourself at this point.
Is it the fighting game character?
No, we'll get down to that. This is Best Action Adventure, Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
Never played.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Takes it.
I'll just read the rest for posterity, I guess. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain,
Getting teabagged by Batman.
Ori and the Blind Forest,
Sniffing Batman's farts.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Walking slightly behind Batman.
Because it's Batman but female. Yeah, okay, so I thought that might be right.
Arkham Knight wins. Whenever a Batman game gets announced for award, it wins.
Okay, so for best role-playing game,
Oh, okay.
Bloodborne,
Okay.
Fallout 4,
Okay.
Pillars of Eternity,
Never played.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and the indie pick for this one, Undertale. No, I've never heard of it either.
I know I have heard of Undertale. It's a weird game where you can go through the entire game without fighting anybody. If you encounter like 2 skeletons in a battle, you get options like fight, item, like flee, or talk. And you can talk to them. It's like, look, you don't want to kill me. You want to join me. You want to help me.
And then you lead the horde into the city and kill everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's truly the darkest ending of the game.
Oh no, the ending gets really dark. You find out that you've been helping this evil, like, giant sunflower called Flowey. Oh, trust me, like, any explanation that I give will just confuse you more. Like, Undertale is a weird game that people have just been loving the hell out.
Right.
It's getting a big call out on YouTube, and I think it's pretty cheap on Steam, so if you ever get the chance to pick it up, it is fucking weird, but great at the same time.
Are you ready for the best fighting game category?
Yep.
In the one corner, Guilty Gear XRD Sign.
Right, I don't know how to say this. I've heard people call it Crossroad or Xrd.
Xrd.
I've called it Crossroad because that makes more sense to me.
In the other corner, Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, give it minus its online. It's a pretty good game.
In yet another corner, Rise of Incarnates.
Never heard of that game.
Bandai Namco, apparently.
Oh, that was the online game that came out last year that no one knew about, and it was meant to be like the new Power Stone / Smash Bros game. But people just kept playing Smash Bros anyway.
In a fourth corner, Rising Thunder.
Never heard of it.
Well, apparently they're all going to duke it out, and I realised looking at these screens that fighting game characters have the biggest swords that do no physical damage.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, look at Soul Calibur. Nightmare has this giant, huge claymore, and he uses it to bat people about.
Nightmare looks so cool. Like, he looks like an absolute monster, and then he just hits people with what looks like a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, it's like he uses the flat side of his blade quite a lot. It's like, end the fight now and cleave him in half.
So best family games, just to run through it for a laugh.
Yeah, in the fighting game category, Mortal Kombat X is going to take it. Guilty Gear Xrd was not as well advertised, and
Well, this is about the game being quality, not the advertisement.
yeah, in that case, Mortal Kombat X definitely wins.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they have Predators in it, Jason's in it. They're constantly announcing new characters. They're going to announce a new bout of characters pretty soon. So I just think Mortal Kombat wins. Minus the fact that its netcode sucks dick on PS4. You need to get that on the Xbox One to get a decent experience.
I'd love to see the Jason character appear, but his movement speed sucks. But you can't kill him.
Yeah, he one of his variations, because every character has their own variation. For take Sub-Zero for example, he'll have Cryomancer where he's more ice damage based.
Right.
Then you'll have another one called Grandmaster where it's more kind of martial arts based. Then you'll have a mixture of the two.
Alright, so it's just different playstyles.
It's different playstyles, yeah, but they'll have slightly different moves therein. Jason has one that reduces his walking speed but gives him super armor. And super armor in fighting games is how many times you can get hit before the hit actually connects to you.
Right.
It's basically damage reduction in Dungeons & Dragons.
Okay.
He has so much super armor, he can take 12 hits walking from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen before he actually takes damage.
Okay, that actually does work, and what you've just described is a very interesting mechanic. If that is well executed, yeah, I could see that being a claim for a game of for the best fighting game.
A lot of fighting games use it. And a lot of fighting game players use it as a way to kind of open up an extra
layer of complexity to the
open
game.
up an extra combo. So if somebody's
Well, effectively, you've now developed 3 characters.
Yeah.
For one skin.
Yeah, for one character, he has 3 different playstyles, so that suits for every single person who's going to play the game. Although most people just go for the variation that gives them more armor or more damage. Because you just become a tank.
So, best family game, don't know if you've heard of any of these. Disney Infinity 3.0.
Yeah, I've heard of that. My niece, she has the toys, but I don't think she knows how to use them.
Lego Dimensions. Lego games always do really well, and they're always really good.
Yeah, I've never played a bad Lego game except the Lego Indiana Jones. Did not like that.
Skylander Superchargers. Don't give a shit.
Just it butchered one of my favourite games from as a child. Bring Spyro back to its old like action games status. Then I will look at it.
And then the big two, I'd say Splatoon versus Super Mario Maker. Ooh, for best kids game.
Because Splatoon's.
I'd say Splatoon is more played by kids, but I'd say Mario Maker would be the better game because you can create so much with Mario Maker versus the number of people who would actually play Splatoon. Because how many kids would you say?
Multiplayer options, whereas Mario Maker is a single player experience.
Yeah, you can upload and you can grab different levels.
Yeah, I would definitely give that to Splatoon just because there's more options in that than there is in Mario Maker.
I'd say Mario Maker would be a better game for giving to someone who is an experienced platform gamer.
Yeah, giving it to a kid might not work as well.
A game that you'd hand to a kid would be Splatoon. So.
Yeah, just because it is point and shoot.
Right. We now, like, this is all the jury appointed stuff, so, you know, there'll be like a committee working behind the scenes and voting and debating the
looking at the minutiae of the game and decide
the fans' choice is where we get a say. Yeah. So we'll be able to vote. We'll post a link to all this stuff on Twitter, I think.
We'll get your thoughts and feelings on it. If you want to shoot us a message on Twitter, it's Twitter at Gibberpish. And
why are you forgetting stuff? You haven't been drinking.
I know. My head's at my arse at the minute. I've got so much shit to work. I've got so much shit to work with. And if you want to shoot us an email, it's gibberpish@outlook.com. We'll read out your messages on the show next week. Yeah, because we'll get another episode or two in before the actual awards on December 3rd. So if you want to discuss this with us, join in the conversation. Yeah. So esports game of the year, I think we can ignore that because we're not that big into esports. League of Legends is going to win. League of Legends or Hearthstone is where it's going to go. Hearthstone's on there and League of Legends is on there. Yeah, so it's a 2-horse race. And Dota 2's on there. League of Legends. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, so CSGO is on there. That'd be a good contender. Yeah, it'd be a good contender, but League of Legends tough. For some reason, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's on there. Wasn't aware of that being considered an esport, but okay. Yeah. Best fan creation. So there's basically just mods, really. And then one of the things that comes up on that list, Twitch plays Dark Souls. That's considered a mod? It's more to do with... because they had to mod the game to allow you to pause the game, didn't they? Yeah, so it's more to do with the best thing a fan has done with a game. So, okay. Twitch plays Dark Souls was hilarious. Yeah. Just watching some people like drop your weapons and run about naked in the middle of a pit full of devil fiends. You've got Esports Team of the Year and Esports Player of the Year. Again, pretty much irrelevant. Yeah. Because I think Dom can name two of them, and that makes him the best at naming esports things. Because, well, no offence, in fact, no, I'm not going to say it because it would be very, very racist. What, that one of the teams is Korean? No, I was about to... Fuck it, we're all in this together. I was about to say it doesn't matter. No, we're not. It doesn't matter, they're all called Kim anyway. Yeah, the most anticipated player of the year. I'm not even going to bother looking. Apparently, they'll go by gamer handles rather than their actual real names. So the one that we could discuss is the most anticipated game. Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think is the one where you're like a tribal person fighting robots. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, that looks really good. No Man's Sky. Never heard of that. It's kind of like the one where you go and explore different galaxies. Oh yeah, I've seen that actually. Yeah, you've all heard of your own ship. The hype for that is so unreal. It's not going to work. It's procedurally generated worlds. Somebody's going to break it. They're going to point it out, and we're all going to fucking hate the game. Yeah, we're all going to jump on that and like pound dick in its mouth. Quantum Break, which is it's the guys who made Alan Wake, and they're doing like kind of gravity control. So you basically create like I think it's time control or gravity control, but you like create areas of effect for gravity, or I think it is gravity because I think they did one before about time control, and that was like one game. So this is gravity. So like you throw out a bubble, and everyone in the bubble will just be fucked. Alright. So, The Last Guardian, which is the trailer that everyone jizzed over on E3. Yeah, that's going to be the most anticipated title, just because people have been waiting so long for it. It's a bird dog that does shit and is afraid of windmills or some bollock. Fuck. And the fact that they've actually mocapped a dog to do it. Yeah. It's going to win. And then Uncharted 4 Thief's End. It's a contender. It'd be for me, if I was a betting man, I'd put money down on something. It would be a 2-horse race, Uncharted versus The Last Guardian. Yeah, because you've got Nathan Drake versus a doggy. Nathan Drake versus a giant dragon doggy. A man as cute as a puppy versus an actual puppy with wings and chicken legs. So I think it's going to be some kind of like, what are they called? Like, it's not a chimera, it's not a Cerberus, it's nothing. It's just here's a chicken dog. Fucking deal with it. Chicken dog. Fucking deal with it. Like a griffin type thing. Yeah. So the last category I want to bring up because it's interesting. I'm not sure if it's the first year this has been involved.
but it's the trending gamer category. Now, first of all, this is kind of the wrong name for this thing because what it is effectively a gaming personality of the year. So it's really who do you know of, who are you watching, who are you engaging with on social media as far as personalities related to video games.
It could also be considered which YouTube gamer has the biggest presence.
I suppose that's who's going to ultimately win
Because
it.
I guarantee it's going to be a few people on this list are going to be YouTube gamers.
Oh, it's the majority, so let's go through it. Christopher Monte Cristo Meekles, I've never heard of him before.
Never heard of him.
Dude's in a suit, I approve of that.
Always been.
Dude is skinny though, so, you know.
Yeah,
That's
dude is dapper though.
That's not good. Greg Miller.
I've been a fan of Greg Miller stuff. Like as he's done more, he's kind of calmed down a bit. But his earlier stuff is like very hyperactive and really over the top.
He seems to have kind of.
He's found his stride.
Yeah, he's found his stride as a kind of video game journalist almost.
Yeah.
Then going to a favourite yours, Markiplier.
Yep.
So he's
Not got a bad thing to say about his, except he does shout far too much in his videos.
Well, you're gonna hit the next guy. It's PewDiePie.
Yeah,
Can't ignore him.
I've voiced my opinions on PewDiePie before.
Although apparently every time you see him not being PewDiePie, he gets better and better as a human being.
Like, if PewDiePie could be considered as a character, which, to be honest, it is. Like,
It is.
the character, his real name is Alex.
I don't know his real name.
Well, whatever his real name is. He's a genuinely good human being. When he's not being this hyperactive man-child on stream or on YouTube for 20, 30 minutes an episode or a video, he's got some genuinely good things to say. But the character of PewDiePie is what stops me from watching his stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's in my mind, it's not good content.
And that's the thing, if you listen to any of these people who do any game content, the idea that your on-camera personality is an exaggerated version of yourself.
Yeah.
And the idea of PewDiePie as a character, fine, just I'll leave it in its own little box and pay attention to what he, the person, has to say. Last on the list is Total Biscuit, which is the cynical Brit.
That's just Cynical Brit.
Yeah.
I thought he went under the title Cynical Brit or Total Biscuit.
He goes under
Champ.
both, it's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's up there, and it's a fairly solid list. The only person I don't know in there is Monte Cristo Meekles.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is, but we'll probably go and research it, and he'll be probably one of the biggest streamers out there.
Yeah, so all those are all up there for your vote.
Yeah, I couldn't even say specifically who would win it because they're all good in their own respective routes.
I think as far as games journalism goes, Total Biscuit takes over Greg Miller, just because Total Biscuit is basically fearless. And I wonder, I mean, he's going through some bad circumstances right now. He's been on and off with cancer diagnosis, so I don't think it's working out too well for him. I don't know if, we should give that to him, but
I think he kind of gets the, obviously, I don't want to say it's because he's British, he's not afraid to grab the bull by the horns and say this is what's wrong with that. But I do think that kind of helps him a bit.
I've noticed that a lot with British online
we're
journalism.
not afraid, Ben Yahtzee Crawshaw is the prime example of that. He's not afraid to tell in great detail a video games company that his game sucks, or their game sucks.
Yeah, and the same with Jim Sterling, again, another expat Brit who couldn't give less of a shit about what you think, about how your feelings are. He's got something to say and he's going to say it.
And then you've got the cynical Brit who does a show called What the Hell Is, or What the Fuck Is, or WTF Is, then it'll be a video game title.
Yeah, and it's a brutal explanation. Yeah. So maybe he won it. And then we really need to figure who Monte Cristo is. Yeah, I think that's holding back our diagnosis of this, but basically Markiplier versus PewDiePie. I think you know who you're voting for.
I don't know. I know PewDiePie brings in a bigger audience, but Markiplier I think does better content.
Being that this is fans' choice.
Fans' choice PewDiePie.
It's going to be PewDiePie. But you'd prefer it if it was Markiplier.
No, if I genuinely had to go for a vote on that, I'd probably go for Cynical Brit, just because it's like one of the home nations. I genuinely like to see someone from the home nation who's done this for a while get some recognition. Yeah, and he does a really good job. I've watched some of his videos, very well produced, he's very eloquent in his discussion. He's very well structured. Where I think people like Markiplier, he's presenting a structured argument. Yeah, that's where I think people like Markiplier and Greg Miller kind of fail a bit. They can't articulate their thoughts and feelings as well as say people like Yahtzee, Jim Sterling, and the Cynical Brit. Yeah, they're online personalities. They're game show hosts as opposed to being someone leading a discussion on something. So the list is very interesting. Now let's see who comes out on top. We'll find out in early December 3rd, 2015 is when the date of the awards ceremony is. So we'll see what the awards are then. Looking forward to seeing that quite a lot. The VGA is always something that I don't watch specifically, but I always keep track of. Just to say, who won that? Oh, that won a VGA. Awesome, it got some recognition. And I think it was 1 year past, a game got a VGA award that it completely did not deserve. Every now and again you get the Are You Fucking Kidding Me award. Yeah, and there was one of them last year, and for the life of me, I can't remember what game it was. I'll put it, as soon as I figure it out, I'll put it up on the Twitter page, because it did bug the shit out of me. Yeah. Like, to the point I was ready to fire an email, like, social justice warrior style. Like, how dare you give this over to that game?
So we will leave you guys with a list of that design if you want to get involved in our discussion, because we'll maybe 2 episodes depending on when we go for.
Yeah.
And we will get back to you guys with what happens at the actual video game awards, because I'll probably sit and watch it. I got nothing better to do.
If I've got free time, I'll catch up with it.
Wait, do I have anything better? No, it's a fucking Thursday night. It's gonna be a Thursday night for us.
Shit.
Live from LA, so it's late time zone. Might end up being Friday morning.
Well, I'm off Friday, so I'll probably tune in.
Yeah, might as
Although
well.
it depends, like what time. If I get back from college or if I get back from training, and I'm just fucked, I'll probably just go screw this and go to bed.
Yeah, you can't pre-game an app or something like that. But yeah, so I suppose it bears mentioning the events in France.
Yes.
Before we close out,
Yeah.
with the video game awards handled and done, that we had to sit and watch as newscasters flooded into Paris to cover the attacks in Paris, which left about 130 people dead.
I think the death toll is still rising because there's still people in hospital who are critically injured who are just slipping away.
A lot of the people who were involved in the main attacks that caused a lot of the loss of life, although none of this is easy to discuss and none of it's any less tragic than anything else, is the Eagles death metal concert in the Bataclan?
It's Bataclan.
Bataclan Hall. So that was absolutely horrible. That people would go out on a Friday night
To
looking for
have fun and escape like the monotony of their day-to-day working life, to just go out and have fun in a concert venue with like-minded people just enjoy music.
You know that this was the start of somebody's fun weekend.
Yeah, somebody was like, I'm going to go out to the Bataclan, I'm going to have a fucking awesome time at this Eagles of Death Metal concert. Someone just had to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, so throughout this whole thing we've been watching, it's 150 counter-terrorism operations that have taken place in the days since. And there have been further casualties when a suicide bomber blew herself up, apparently killing or dismembering the body of the man who's the mastermind of this whole thing. The whole thing is just fucking horrible, and the fact that this is now this whole ISIS situation is following us into Europe.
Yeah, well,
it's ringing a lot of alarm bells for a lot of people. But
apparently they're predicting that the next big attack is going to be London. So London is cracking down majorly.
Yeah, counter-terrorism operations are just going nuts across the entirety of Europe, and America is doing it as well. Just because it'd be a real throw. Like, you throw everybody off if you suddenly launch an ISIS operation in America.
Yeah. Although I think it just shows a bit of unity that we're all willing to, like, this is incredibly tragic what's happened to France, and people, like, even things as little as people changing their Facebook profile photos just have like an overlay of the French flag. Things like that just show that we're kind of behind France. Like, anything we need, we're willing to provide. In America, the UK, even the EU as a whole, are just willing to back France and whatever it takes.
Yeah.
What really bugs me is when you get people, like, I seen a video that honestly it made me want to break my phone. It was a video of an American pastor blaming the attacks squarely on the Eagles of Death Metal by inviting the metal element into France. We invited terrorism.
No, the worst. That's just some random irate pastor.
Yeah, that really bugged me.
There's a lot of very ill-informed conversation going around about the Muslim contribution to this whole situation because ISIS is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. They are trying to create a caliphate, which is a Muslim-controlled state over the Middle East, which is what happened in the Ottoman Empire, which was then broken up after World War One, and then they are trying to re-establish it. And annoyingly, when you think about it, if the ISIS group was a purely political faction, we'd have very little chance of opposing the idea of reuniting the Islamic states under Islamic control peacefully and democratically. However, this is now a terrorist group throwing Islam up as a shield for religious acts when they are beheading journalists, when they are killing people in the streets, when they're just murdering, when they're detonating suicide vests in the middle of Paris. These people, it's just a fucking nightmare that we're living through now. But we had to contribute to the fact that we stand behind and support the French people in this fucking nightmare situation that they're in. And we just have nothing else to say other than our sympathies to the French people, our sympathies to the innocents on any cultural divide caught up with this whole situation.
The one thing that I can take from this, apart from the tragedy of what happened, the one thing that I take from this is that wars are around the corner. We cannot stop that. War is coming. France have already taken this as an act of war and dropped 20 bombs on the Islamic State. It's reactionary. Yeah, and
they made a reactionary move that no one can blame them for. It's a horrible situation, but while we still have the freedom to say what we want, we will just say that we stand behind any victims, any innocents, anybody caught on the wrong side of this. So, with that said, I think it's time that we stop talking Gibberpish.
Yep. I've been Dom Anderson.
And I've been Colin Graham.
And we've been talking Gibberpish.